All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lech, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. How's everybody doing tonight? We are joined by a very, very special guest. Welcome, Melted Mind Media. How is it going, brother? How are you doing?
It's going good, bro. It's going good.
Well, why don't you tell the people who don't know, who are you, where can they find you, and what do you do?
Melted Mind Media. You can find me on YouTube at Melted Mind Media, and you can find me at Twitter at Melted Mind Media.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's also say thank you to my6shirt.com. Whatever your persuasion, they've got something for you. And of course, it is the only place to get your very own The Indian Jesus official merch. Only at my6shirt.com. All right. What is good, everybody? So I figured that, it's a Friday. Let's chill out. Let's have some fun and go through the crazy world of TikTok. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And, I've been saving a bunch of TikToks because, like I said, they're crazy. Finally, time to get down to it. So I'll ask you, Melty, the same question that we have for the running poll replay gang. Let me know in the comments below. Do you have TikTok? We have a multiple choice. Yes, I use it all the time. Yes, I use it sometimes. Yes, but I don't use it. Or no, I don't have it. Melty.
I have it, but I do not use it.
Have it, but do not use it. All right. Let me know what you guys have to say. So let's dive into the first one. You may have seen this video before, but I think it is a really good one, a really cool one. Let's check it out.
Do they know what the Gadsden flag is? It's a historical flag.
Do you know what the Gadsden flag is, Melted Mind Media?
I think so.
So there, the reason that they do not want the flag, the reason we do not want the flag displayed is due to its origins with slavery and slave trade.
Slavery and the slave trade. As the one who has a Gadsden flag or a version of the Gadsden flag hanging behind you, why don't you tell us a little bit about how it is directly connected to slavery and the slave trade?
It is not at all connected to slavery or the slave trade. It's connected to anti-fascism rhetoric and trying to, protect your own and keep it small,
That's it. Don't tread on me. Leave me alone. Do you actually know anything specifically about the guy Gadsden who made the flag?
I don't know anything specifically about it, but I'm pretty sure I know that Ben Franklin was the one that used it as a sign. For I
was gonna say I thought it was a Revolutionary War thing, but I wasn't sure about that.
It was. I think it was. It was a Revolutionary War thing. It was, but it was. I think it was brought up by Ben Franklin was, I think, a big supporter of flag usage because he was also the guy that helped design what animal. He wanted to use the turkey as our state or as the bird that we use instead of the eagle. But
turkey. Yeah, I mean, I love me some turkey, but that bald eagle is badass.
Yeah, it is. But I think he wanted to use the turkey because it was one of them super relevant in North America. There's so many here.
Right. All right. So let's see how this kid handles being called a racist in school for flying a flag that has been around as long as our history.
That is what was that's the reasoning behind the
Gadsden flag.
The don't tread on me.
Okay. Which is the Gadsden flag. Okay, so he's what's going to happen if he doesn't take it off?
Based.
He is able to go. I was actually just telling him, I was upset that he's missing so much school. I'm
obviously not upset enough because you pulled him out of school or out of class.
So I asked if can he just take his stuff out of his bag and go back to class. I just want him to go back to class. The bag can't go back. It's got a patch on it because we can't have that in and around other kids. So that's what I was trying. And then he said you were close. So I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with slavery. That's the Revolutionary War patch that was displayed when they were fighting the British. That wasn't. That's the revolution. Maybe you're thinking of the Confederate flag?
Okay, I am
Is it
just here
history
to
that
enforce,
you tell me?
no, I am here to enforce the policy that was provided by the district.
I'm just doing my job.
And definitely you have every right to not agree with it. I mean,
Yeah, because the
absolutely.
ACLU says that he's allowed to wear that. If you like go on their website, it's like says in big
So
letters.
all I'm saying is that.
Unless there's like a ban on patches, period, like you said,
Good
there's
point.
no patches
Good
allowed in
point.
school, you cannot display what you think or anything like that, or what cheer or anything like that. I think it's like one-sided, you know, because you allow some patches, but not other patches.
kids have patches like their names.
There you go. Speak up for yourself, kids. Speak up for yourself. And that's good that, obviously you don't want to, how dare you? This is not. But he's doing the damn thing. Shout out to Nick. What is good, Nick? Welcome to the party. The fun for today is the craziness of TikTok. Welcome. Let's also say welcome to Unwanted Foe. Said, what an insane notion. He can't have a patch that basically represents leave me alone and I'll leave you alone. But if you want to wear a pride flag or all white people must this or that, be no problem. But of course, it's not on their message, so it's not allowed. And so yeah, I'm proud of this kid for not only rocking the patch in the first place, but getting when he gets in trouble, not folding, and then sitting here like a boss, taking it.
He's American flag on his backpacks.
Yeah. That was like flown during the revolution.
Yeah, so they're basically saying like, okay, if you want to say that this patch is wrong, then we have to talk about every other patch. Otherwise, you're singling this flag out. And I think she even says it like maybe you're thinking of like the Confederate flag or something, but that's not what this is.
Yeah, I just don't understand that at all.
So what I can do
If you go onto the ACLU website, say, yeah, let's talk to
I
someone.
can have you speak to Jeff Yoakum.
Okay, great. Jeff Yoakum. Bring him on in. Because otherwise we're all getting our time wasted because you don't know what the F you are talking about.
Again. And then he can refer you to our person at the district.
Okay.
Because like I said, we're following district policy is what we're doing.
We're just doing our jobs.
The last thing I want is him out of class.
Yeah, I know.
That's all
He
the last
takes
thing I
his
want.
classes seriously.
Yes.
He studies. He wants to get straight A's. He did that. He made honor roll when he was here before.
Honor roll.
He has
They're bringing an honor roll student out of class because of the Gadsden flag.
to do that again right now, but it's hard because he keeps missing class for this. So
I understand that.
Do you though?
yeah, and I mean we teach him to always stick up for your beliefs, and I mean you're going over the revolution for 7th grade. I mean the founding fathers stood up for what they believed in against unjust laws.
Exactly. Like, isn't this what you are teaching him right now? Unwanted Foe said a non-history teacher pretending they know history and using that pretending as justification for this. Yep, that's the MO of anything on the left these days. And I mean, I'm not gonna call her like some far leftist. Obviously, she's just a cog in the machine. But the point is that the left has taken over the institution. School is an institution, and so no longer are you allowed to say anything that is outside of the established narratives of what do we believe in this school. Have you guys seen this? Because it's we can finish this up. I don't know. Go play.
This is unjust.
Okay, like I said, we're upholding a policy that was provided to us, which we have to uphold.
Okay, can you show me where?
Can you show me where the policy is? No, probably because that policy doesn't exist. First thoughts, Melty. First thoughts.
I'm happy that a lot more kids are starting to stick up for themselves now because of the Supreme Court actually passed a freedom of speech for kids and stuff like that in schools now. Like you can actually there's more rights for kids in schools now.
What is this?
Like the Supreme Court, this was like a little bit ago, but it was about oh my gosh, I can't remember the exact like what happened. It was I think a girl was wearing something political in school, and like they tried to kick her or him out, and then the parents took it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said that they couldn't take that person out of school. And then there was also another high school student a couple weeks ago that got in trouble for having a big American flag on his truck, and he actually dropped out of school. Yeah, he actually dropped out of school.
Good. Definitely drop out of school if they're going to give you shit for the American flag. Like Gadsden, it's still stupid. It's still stupid. But at least it is, something that not everybody knows that well. A wanted foe said M3. I don't like this M3. He's melty to me. He's gonna stay melty on this channel. When you go over to TSP, you can call M3 all day, but it's melty over here. Melty's flag is more offensive than the Gadsden flag. Yeah, I mean that at least has profanity. Like at least if they, if he was wearing that, then it's not the message or the history. It's just the fact that it says the F word.
Yeah, I would not suggest you fly this flag anywhere around a school. That's
Probably.
why this is in my house. I don't fly this up in the air around people to see it. This is just for me and my guests that I have over.
And the entire internet.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you can just leave if you don't like it.
Facts based. So, obviously we've seen that the left wing ideology has infiltrated so many different things. One of the other things is the fact that the borders. We know how bad the border crisis is. And so many of these sanctuary cities are like, no, it's not a big deal. We'll house them. And it's because they don't have to actually back up that they're saying that. They don't actually have to back up anything. Well, now we're getting a bunch of migrants in New York City, and the sanctuary city is not too happy about it.
Let me put it in perspective for New Yorkers.
Put it in perspective,
for each
buddy.
family seeking asylum through the city's care, we spend an average of $383 per night to provide shelter, food, medical care, and social services.
Yeah, people are expensive. That's something that we've been telling you for forever, that you can't. It's not about being xenophobic. It's about the fact that resources are finite, and if more people come here, that's less resources for the people who belong here.
With
100%.
more than 57,300 individuals currently in our care, on an average night, it amounts to $9.8 million a day.
So almost $10 million a day for over 57,000 people. I got a secret to tell you, Mr. Mayor. There's a lot more than that around the country. Maybe you wouldn't be here thinking about this if you had thought about it before.
Almost $300 million a month and nearly $3.6 billion a year. But this is the floor, not the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
This is only an estimate if the number of migrants in our care stays the same over time.
Which it won't.
It is clear to us, however, that without policy changes, the number of migrants arriving will continue to grow. This will increase our costs. If we continue down this unsustainable track with an average of almost 34,000 households a night over the course of just this fiscal year.
Just this year. And like, hey, shout out to Zippy the Strange. Welcome. What is good? I don't need it like Netflix. Hey, I mean, good for you. If you can stay off of these platforms, it is definitely better for you. But there is a lot going on in the world that is, I say it all the time, that the TikTok algorithm somehow just does a little bit better. They feed you exactly what you want to see. And, if you want to see NPC live streamers, then that's what you're going to see. But if you are interested in more interesting and more pertinent and poignant things, it's definitely out there. Welcome to the party. And, now that we have the specific, not just the New York City mayor, but specifically Mayor Adams, who is very open borders, who is sanctuary state, all that kind of stuff. For him to be out here being like, hey guys, whoa, hey, we need to be aware of this. I'm sure that there's a bunch of people who would watch this and be, oh, that's xenophobic. How dare you?
How dare you?
But like, This is the reality. It always has been. And so I guess none of us here are going to be surprised. It's just fun to watch him squirm.
Definitely.
That will increase costs to $4.7 billion.
I don't even mean to hit that.
Hear me. If things do not change,
Yes.
our new estimates have us spending nearly $5 billion on this crisis in the current fiscal year. That's up from the $1.4 billion we spent last fiscal year. And it nearly equals the budgets of sanitation department, our parks department, and the FDNY combined.
Exactly. Yeah. Nick saying, come legally, I'll welcome you. Come illegally, and I won't. We have a system. Let's use it. And the fact of the matter is, the reason that we want people to come through the system is because of the system that is in place to help prevent all of these resources from being stretched the way they are. When people just come here, we can't, we can't do anything about it. Let's finish this one up.
And if things do not change, we expect to have more than 100,000 asylum seekers in our care by the end of June 2025.
So maybe you should have listened to the people who were warning you against this. No? Thoughts, Melty?
Yeah, this is not a surprise at all. They say they care about these illegal immigrants until it overflows to a point and it's too much and it starts to look bad on them.
They care until they have to actually do something.
Exactly.
They say they care because they know that they don't have anything. So let's go from the left wing over to the right, where our boy Vivek Ramaswamy, a short one here. I don't know exactly where this is from, but he goes off.
Second government agency that I will shut down in this country. We should have done it 60 years ago. It's hurt Republicans and Democrats alike. We're going to get it done. It's finally time to shut down the FBI in America.
Let's go. Shut down the FBI in America. What does that mean to you, Melty?
Getting rid of these federal agencies that are trying to enforce all these federal laws on people that they should have they shouldn't be able to do that. There shouldn't be this federal branch of the government that can go from state to state and have full power over every single thing that it touches. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, perfectly said. The fact is that these government agencies have gotten too big. They've gotten too much power, and they've gotten too connected to each other and to the center, whatever that center is. I don't know who is the person who has the most power, but wherever it is, it all circles around that one person or that one group of people. And it's just too much, and we don't need it. We don't need it. We have an infrastructure where there is more. There's more people in the system than need to be by a factor of 10, 20, who knows? And the purposes of the thing itself, we don't even need it. We have other law enforcement agencies.
Well, if you think about like how these federal agencies, they go from state to state and arrest people, but if you just let the states have more power over what they do. And I'm not for the police or anything. I'm not a big fan of police right now, especially what's going on. But I think that's more of a ACAB problem than the actual police problem. But if you give these people more power to do things in their own state and arrest people and do stuff, you're more likely to see more people pass laws that are going to be more effective for their state's criminal system. And if you have these places like California where it's okay to rob and do anything like that, you are definitely are going to see more people in that area, because as more robbers and criminals move there, you're going to see the people more rise up and try to vote out these corrupt politicians that are letting crime happen and vote in ones that are going to be more strong on crime.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. And that's really the heart of it, is that we are a constitutional republic. We are a constitutional republic. We are supposed to be able to have almost like each state is its own little country. Because each state is very different. And despite the fact that we are the United States, they are very different. Zippy says the FBI is supposed to be a neutral or I couldn't even get through that straight face. All right. The FBI is supposed to be a neutral organization to help deal with logistics and data, not circumvent local law enforcement. Well, supposed to being the key word. Well said. And Nick said, let's not forget about the ATF, the DEA, the IRS, and we could go on and on. They're all just a waste of money.
If it's got 3 letters and it goes to the federal government, get out of here. We don't want it.
We're done. We're done. All right, let's see what else he has to say about this.
FBI in America. Create something new to take its place because we are done with the J. Edgar Hoover legacy to let this be a self-governing nation again.
Based. So what do you think that replacement would be?
It would definitely be these local governments actually doing their job and arresting these criminals that are happening. And it may take more states working together. Like we need, instead of having a big federal bureau, it needs to be more of states logistically coming 2 ways. Like if someone commits a crime in one state, that state should talk to the other state and say, hey, we have someone that might be there in these locations. It's like what we do now. There's a lot of states that work with each other to get criminals and move them back to other states. We just need, like, the problem is California won't work with, let's say, like a non-liberal state like that, or like there's states that just don't want to play this game and they want to harvest these criminals and keep them there.
Very true. Criminals are votes for a single party. Zippy says it's a shame that all the executive alphabet crap is nothing but system bloat and corruption. Though the IRS, I can see a reason for. Hell no! Taxation is theft. Taxation is theft. The executive branch. Well, I mean, this is not supposed to be part of the executive branch, but it's become an arm of the executive branch. Laws are supposed to go through the legislative branch and go through Congress. But at least, since Obama, if not Bush, this idea of just signing everything into executive order and then having the CIA make sure that everybody's doing whatever, and if they're not, then sending the FBI out or the ATF, all that stuff, that Nick was talking about. They're all working together. And they're supposed to be separate entities. And yeah, if they need to work together, then they can share info. It's not like they have to be completely separated from each other. But they're not supposed to be a club. They're not supposed to be a club at all. Zippy says, well, given how government works, the name will change, but nothing else will. Unfortunately true. Unfortunately, I do agree with you. And that is, a very important thing to think about with this next one here. Oh, Zippy says, no taxes, no government, let chaos reign. I mean, can it really be that worse than it is right now? Can it really be that worse than it is right now?
Too black-pilled. You're too black-pilled on people, Zip.
I don't know. I'm kind of with him. He says chaos is the best way to solve many problems. I mean, I don't know about that, but from the ashes we rebuild. You know what I mean? Speaking of the FBI and the CIA and all these deep state agencies, Tucker's worried.
What do you think the future holds? Is it?
I don't know.
I mean, are they going to let Trump be president?
No.
Well, let's start there. Are they even going to let Trump be president?
No, they're not letting him be president now, really. Is that like they're trying to stop him every way possible? So I'd say that already they're not trying to let him be president, and they're trying to get his name off the ballot and everything. In 2016, they were trying not to let him be president. And I think that's when people ask that question, it's kind of crazy to think, because I don't think it's already happening. Like we already see that they're not trying to let this person. It's been that way with both sides for a while. Like people didn't want to let Obama be president, but he became president. It's like each side's going to try to find a way to win.
I agree, but I think that there is a level of them understanding that like they didn't want him to win in 2016, but they didn't really realize how much quote unquote damage in their eyes he was actually going to do. And so that brings up the next point here.
Well, I think this is definitely the first time we've ever seen where it's on both sides of the table. We're seeing this, like we're seeing it with rhinos and Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is really showing how much they work together and how close a congressman is related to a Democrat and a Republican congressperson is they're way more connectable as a person than I would be to a congressperson.
Right. And that's all, like, why all the time we talk about the difference between Republican politicians and conservative voters, and Democratic politicians and liberal voters. As much as there might be a bigger difference on one side, but there is definitely a huge difference between the voting populace and the politician elite class. Nick says, we might have to make them understand he's our president. They work for us. Well said, sir. Well said.
Of course. I mean, look, if, they protested him, they called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work.
Well, I mean, it did work in the sense that they impeached him twice, but they didn't remove him.
He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became...
Well, again, it did work, and he was charged, but he's still on the ballot.
More popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times, and every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination.
Oh,
obviously.
He said the magic word. Let's end this poll with 71% of you not even having TikTok. Very interesting. With a new poll. Do you think it is reasonable that Trump would get assassinated? Replay, gang. Do your thing.
And no one will say that, but I don't know how you can reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, they have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them, they just can't have him. I mean, they're putting him on trial in March of next year in the J6 case, which basically consists of trying to send him to prison for the rest of his life for complaining about the last election. That's literally what it is.
And if you think about it, this is the same type of conversation or the same line of questioning that came with Andrew Tate. That he was, they tried to smear his name. Then they banned him off everything. Then they debanked him. Then they arrested him. And he keep coming back. And so he keeps saying, I will not self-delete. I will not self-delete. Because what Tucker's talking about is exactly what is going on with Tate, is exactly the same line of reasoning with Trump. Zippy says, as soon as it pops up here, no, he's still a puppet of the system. He's a great distraction. I don't know about all that. What made Trump is a puppet of the system?
I think he's talking about Tucker.
Which one are you talking about? Because
I disagree with both.
I was gonna say I disagree with both, but I could see a little bit more wiggle room with Tucker. So Zippy, which one do you mean? Unwanted Foe said, how could it be reasonable for him to get ended? It would only be reasonable if he was some kind of warlord. No, isn't it reasonable? Damn it. Okay, all right. No. I'm going to redo this one. We're going to do this one. All right, I'm going to play this and rephrase it because that's not what I meant.
Again, if this were happening in Moldova, the State Department would issue an all-hands-on-deck order to let the world know this is not a legitimate government. And yet, our government is doing it. It's like it's hard to overstate how bad this is. And I don't know where it's going, but there's a collision that's clearly imminent. And by the way, the president is senile in a way that's impossible to deny.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other point. So let's we're redoing that one. Thank you to Unwanted Foe. I like that vague, the vague terminology, but we do want to be precise enough that we're asking the right question. So I've changed the poll to: is it reasonable to think that Trump would get Shout out to Dan Jensen. Welcome to Dan the Man Jensen. So this looks so funny. It looks like it looks like Melted is put by the kiddie table, but Jesus is supposed to look down on all the people.
If there's
Well-
one way I can make Lutch look tall, I'm happy to do it.
See, that's what friends are for. That's what friends are for. So yeah, no, he was saying no. Trump is a puppet of the system. He's not doing anything new and different except talking crap. They all talk crap. I gotta disagree with you hard there, bro.
Zippy, I think you're looking too much at the
Biden's not
talking
running
crap
the
part, talking crap part than the policies part.
Mhm.
And you can definitely, his policies work. We all know what his policies are. They're the same that he had in 2016. Why would he continue to talk about his policies when we know them? He needs to keep dogging on these other politicians and show the world how bad they actually are. We already know we already know what he like is pushing. What's like, are you supposed to push more? Like, we need to even be more conservative than what we already were. It's like,
well, I mean, I get the idea that, you know, if you think like, oh, he made all of these promises and then he gets into office and then doesn't do the things that he promised. First of all, he didn't like just drop the ball completely, but we knew that he was not a career politician and that this was not his his area of expertise. So call it an excuse, call it whatever you want, but the fact that he didn't know exactly how to do everything exactly right, that doesn't mean that he can't learn. And that's why people are calling this like Trump's revenge, because it only takes to go in there and see how the sausage is made to be like, okay, I need to do this next time. So I don't know. Zippy said, I'm looking at his administration and he's not writing his policies. Well, do you know that that's what's going to be the case going forward? And if it is the case, then who is what's wrong with the policies that are being written for him?
You know, as you put this poll up, as I think about it, who do you think is more likely for an attempted assassination, Vivek or Trump? As Vivek starts talking about these getting rid of these three-lettered named.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. He's going a little bit more direct at them, but he doesn't have the influence. So if they were to take out somebody like Vivek, then like that really, really, really puts puts a big question mark on like what happened here. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Trump, like, oh, he's a president, he's doing all this, he travels all over. I mean, I think that's a much easier story to sell. Shout out to Daniel Cabrera. Welcome to the party. How are you doing? Hey, we also got Kelly Green in the building. What is good? Welcome to the party. Said Eminem's gonna murder Ramaswamy in a rap battle if he keeps using his lyrics. Yeah, did you hear about that? That he sent a cease and desist to Vivek for singing "Lose Yourself" at the county fair or the state fair, whatever it is.
I think it was because Vivek's was so good that you could just play that and people would not be able to tell the difference, dude. They'd be like,
yeah, I thought that was some just like straight beta shit. Like, bro, he's obviously nobody thinks the brown guy is you. First of all, that song is over 10 years old. I remember being in high school when that came out. So, get over it. Take it as a sign of flattery. Kelly Green goes on to say, yep, then Candace Owens did a whole bit on how she thinks Eminem is really gay. We've got it on camera. Did you not see the interview? The movie, The Interview? He's like, yeah, well, James Franco asked him on the real live talk show. So sometimes you talk about doing this and that and that and that and things I can't say on YouTube. What do you mean by that? I'll just go, yeah, well, sometimes I just get creative in my music, and I'm a homosexual, I'm gay, so everybody's like, wait, what was that? Yeah, I'm gay, and I actually just saw, I forget what it was, I wish I could remember who it was, but somebody, I think it was something that Biden was saying, and somebody cut that when in the movie when it cuts from James Franco and Eminem talking to the actual control room. And Seth Rogen's like, what? What did he just say? This is the best thing we ever had.
Are the cameras rolling?
It was great. Well,
I think Eminem is one of those. It's crazy that he hasn't been canceled, like truly canceled, because I think he's one of those. He doesn't care if he gets canceled. Mm-hmm. He has too many fans that don't care about this truly.
True.
And I think if he keeps going the way he's going, where he's supporting this, like how he is, eventually he's going to care if he gets canceled. and like people are going to look into his past and like read more into his lyrics?
That part I don't know about, because he has all the money in the world. He made his money being that guy. So it's like his songs are about like RPing and ending his baby mama.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like we didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that is a stretch. Kelly Green said leaving gay breadcrumbs. I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you think Eminem is gay.
Yeah.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think Eminem is gay.
It's the fruit bread for Christmas that they, what's that called? The holiday, the fruit cake. Yeah, the holiday fruit cake. Even fruit cake.
Oh man, Eminem, E minum. So you know, obviously we have those types of those types of worries when it comes to the people who are in charge. Dan's like, yeah, dude, he's gay as hell. Gay. But you know, when we talk about whether it's Andrew Tate or it's Tucker Carlson or Vivek or Trump, then we have to remember, who are these people? Who are these people? And what are they really willing to do? So we got a little memory refresher here. And this goes back. Shout out to all of you. Hold on. Shout out to all of you who stayed strong and did not comply. They are going to be bringing back the Rona policies. I don't know how strong. I don't know how soon, but they are bringing it back. Do not forget that this is what they think of you.
We will cite you, and if we need to, we will arrest you, and we will take you to jail. You either get your tests done and make sure you're cleared, or we will keep you in a facility.
Your tests done?
Longer. It's going to be very hard for people to do a lot of normal life unless they can prove their vaccination status.
That one's coming back real quick. Unless you can prove your vaccination status, life is going to be very hard for you. Not
such as you're not going to work in this particular agency or institution. You're not going to be able to go to this college or this university. Once we start doing that, you will see more and more people willingly get vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. As you impede on the rights of people and give them this way out, the weak ones will indeed fold. But I am imploring you, please do not be the weak ones. Do not be the weak ones. Those of us who stayed strong the first time around, where, you know, it made sense, where you didn't really know what was going on, you didn't really know what the truth was, fine. Then maybe, you know, your job was doing this, that, the other, but it cannot get that far if you don't start. The masks are going to be the first thing. The masks are going to be the first thing because it's the easiest thing to start saying, and they already have. I think Rutgers, a lot of hospitals, and some other colleges as well, have already started with mask mandates. If you comply, that gives them the space to go forward. If you fight the issue, then they have to focus on the issue. They can't have a vaccine mandate while you're not willing to comply with a mask mandate. Kelly Green says, we are not sheep. We are not cattle. I am fucking sick of it. Exactly, sir. Exactly. Keep that same energy. Keep that Kelly Green energy. All of you.
If the fear of losing your job, your friends, family, and future isn't enough to coerce you into submission, perhaps these incentives will entice you to willingly comply.
Remember the word incentives.
Cash prizes, the college scholarships.
Now offering kids 12 and up limited edition Avengers comic books.
Yeah, just give up. Just give up your freedom. Give up your autonomy. Give up whatever your body will be without this experimental thing. For movie tickets. Dan Jensen said, I've never put a mask on and I've never been vaccinated, not even as a child. Interesting. Well, shout out to that. I mean, you know, the vaccines that have been long tested are certainly a different conversation. Certainly one worth revisiting, but a different conversation. But you know, I'm specifically focused on the Ronavaxes because I've never gotten a flu shot, never had the flu. I know a lot of people who've gotten the flu shot and then they get the flu, or they get flu-like symptoms from the shot. Why not take the chance and just get the flu? That never made sense to me. That never made sense to me. Nick says, hell yeah, I'm with Kelly. We got M169 in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Said, I've seen a couple people at work wearing cloth masks. It makes me want to scream. Yeah, because one, they don't work. Two, they're not good for you. It's not good to rebreathe in your air. Now, are you going to die and pass out? If you're not, doing a heavy workout, running a marathon, probably not, but it's not good for you. And then that doesn't even begin to talk about the social causes, especially with children, of going through years, of formative years, where this is all they see. I talked to you guys in I talked to you guys in the Discord about why it's important to me that you guys cam up when we're talking, and I don't force it because people want to remain anonymous, and that's totally fine. But it's a very different experience for, like, right now when I'm talking to Melted Mind Media, I can see who Melted Mind Media is. I can see how he reacts to the things that I can say. I can see how he emotes when he's saying the things he says. So he can be, even though I've never met him, I can see that he is a full person. Like, if we're just talking to this, like, okay, you can hear my voice, and I'm pretty expressive and whatever, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Shout out to David. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. So he would love to chat masks. That, sir, we can definitely do. Welcome to the party. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Kelly Green says, can I get some free government Vaseline before I get taken advantage of by the government? Nope, they going in raw. It's
waste of tax dollars.
Yup. Yeah, and some people shouting out Dan's parents. And again, I don't necessarily I've never had kids, so I don't necessarily have a strong opinion on that. I've never really looked into the other vaccines. But especially now that I realize how far they're willing to go to sell their do all of this. Now that I realize that that's the case, it begs the question. I'm not saying that I'm a complete anti-vaxxer. I'm just saying, if somebody were to say, hey, here's the reason why everything that you've known for the last however many years about vaccines is wrong, I'd be willing to listen. Shout out to Ayush. Welcome to the party, brother. Good to see ya. So talking about Trump getting deleted, probably a good idea. That way, they'll not actually do it.
What?
Like that way, like if you talk, I understand what you're saying. Like the more chat it's brought about it, if it does happen, it's like, it's like, oh yeah, we obviously know what happened here. We obviously know.
Didn't stop Epstein. But I do think that Epstein was probably a bigger threat than Trump. Because while Trump has the support and Trump is that bull in a China shot, Epstein
had the
theoretically was a sniper.
He had the names, he had the videos, he had all the blackmail.
Exactly. And yep, Dan, that's exactly it. You just got to bend over and take it.
Sorry, Kelly.
M169 said we can get into it on Discord later if you want. I don't want to say too much here and risk your channel. Neither do I. And we will definitely do that. Much appreciated. If one of the mods or wannabe mods can drop the link to the Discord. Thank you. So we can not only get Avengers comic books, but Super Bowl tickets.
Limited edition Avengers comic books.
Thousands of prizes available,
including cruises and Super Bowl tickets.
Incentives.
150 trucks, giving away shotguns and hunting rifles. Marijuana dispensaries are giving away
Joints for Jack. Krispy Kreme announcing this week.
I don't like that face, Melty. What was that face? You gonna go get jabbed for a free eighth?
No, I'd never do that. It just shows they're trying to hit every demographic. They're trying to hit every single base that they can. Guns, trucks. They're trying to hit cruises, comic books. They're trying to hit every. Later, you show what I think is like one of the worst that they try to push onto people, which we'll talk about later. But it definitely just shows how they're trying to hit every demographic with what they're trying to give.
Yep. Yep. If you like Avengers, they'll do that. If you like football, if you like food, if you like, I mean, it doesn't matter. They will do whatever they want. A big shout out to Dan Jensen. No comment, no question, just pure love of the game. And of course, that means that comes with a treat for Morty. Oh, he very much appreciates it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. Yeah, the assist there. That's why I got my boy up here, doing the damn thing. All right, let's finish this up and update the banner for my boy Dan Jensen.
A free donut, yes? Free beer.
That's right. Get a shot and have a beer.
Today could be your lucky day.
California's vaccine lottery.
One grand winner to take home
Up to $5 million.
$5 million.
Get vaccinated next week. They made it exciting.
What happened to that? What happened to that? $5 million? I never heard about nobody winning $5 million from a vaccine or
Me
trucks.
neither. That is a great question.
Or a
That is a
cruise.
great question. Does anybody know? Does anybody know if anybody got $5 million? I'm going to guess.
In one of our flu shots, we've got a dinger, and when we jab you with it, it's going to go off in your arm. And you,
Bing, 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 bing. You are the Rona winner.
That $5 million is actually like what I wanted to talk about. Like, so now now we're just straight up, they're going for the poorest of the poor, people that are the gambling addicts of the world. That's what they're going for. These people like, oh yeah, I just go in, get my vaccination, and then I might get $5 million. $5 million? $5 million? Like that's generational wealth right there for like 2 or 3 generations.
I don't know about generational wealth.
If you spend it correctly, let's say you keep your same lifestyle that you have.
What is the group of people that we're talking about?
Who won it? But who won it? I want to know who won it.
I don't think anybody did. Honestly,
or some government official won it, or someone that's in the government.
Did anyone win $5 million for getting? It's not even in the thing.
Nope. Ooh, in New Jersey.
Oh,
was that in New Jersey? Lutch, you could have.
No, New York.
Okay.
Wait. What does it say? Vax and scratch. Oh. All right. Well, let's see. Vax and scratch from Robert Przarski of AMNY back in May 20th of 2021. All you need is a vaccine and a dream. Our favorite, the most uncorrupt person ever, Governor Andrew Cuomo, said Thursday that New York will offer a Vax and Scratch program next week in which people who get vaccinated will receive a free scratch-off ticket for a chance. Where's my mouse? A chance to win $5 million. Not going to win $5 million, $5 million and other cash prizes. The lottery is open to New York's 18 and 8. Once they get the shot, whether it's the first dose of the Pfizer or the one and done. Oh, this is back in the days when Johnson & Johnson was still on the market. We all know what happened there. Cuomo said the mega multiplier tickets offer uses a 1 in 9 chance of winning the cash prize. If you don't win the jackpot, you could walk away with multiples of matching cash values shown on the ticket from as little as $20 to as much as $50,000. So even though they said $5 million, I am so positively sure that we would have heard about this if somebody actually won.
I bet you it was like each ticket was like there was probably like all $20 tickets up to $5 million, and then there's probably like one big like $50,000, like a couple bigger ones in between. Like it's probably $5 million in total.
Yeah. That's probably exactly it. That's probably exactly it. $5 million in total in prizes. And so theoretically you could win the grand prize of winning it all. But like Unwanted Post said, the only way they're going to do that is one of the family members or the workers or the people, come on. So let's back this up a little bit. See
If you get vaccinated next week. They made it exciting, right?
It's exciting, guys. Oh my God. Look at how much fun they're having.
Let's gamble.
Don't. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think about that. Oh man, the irony. The irony.
The reason people go to Vegas.
It really could be somewhat lucrative if they aren't already persuaded.
13-year-old Joshua says one of the best parts of getting a shot at Mickey D's lunch.
Bruh.
I
thought it was the immunity from COVID. I thought that was the best part.
Well, you'd think, but not quite. Ayush says probably and exactly in the same phrase sounds funny. Yeah, really. It's not too strong of a statement.
Perhaps.
Just think of this when you think of vaccination.
If you need luck with love, dating apps are offering incentives too. Vienna Brothel is providing
dating apps.
Yeah, you can get an extra super like if you just jab yourself.
One more girl to deny you. One more denying.
Exactly. One more woman to deny you. You can get denied by even more women than ever before. And 169 said Pfizer and Moderna bullied their way in and got J&J out of the market, which was probably the safest of all options. I mean, considering that the three of them were going to be in the market, yes. But I think the safest of all options would have been to do nothing. Literally nothing.
Giving those who take up the offer a 30-minute session with a quote, maybe of their choice.
We finally found the one thing that makes us all more attractive, the vaccination.
To love one another as Jesus.
You're more attractive. You're more attractive if you get the vaccine, according to liberals.
Get vaccinated, get boosted.
Jesus said, get vaccinated and get boosted. Did you say that?
Now, I certainly,
did you say that?
Certainly did
Where's the
not
quote?
Say that. We brought up that idea of incentives, right? And you saw a little bit of it there. Amonte Foe said dating apps were right into a brothel, rather blunt approach. Yeah. Nick says nothing was my choice. Nick, everything is your choice. You always have a choice. Never forget that, especially as we go through this winter, and they will tell you that you do not have a choice. But indeed, you do. And 169 cent. I meant other three options. Yes, no, I know that. I was joking. But so I found the actual full clip of de Blasio doing this, and I want you to put yourself back in the mind of how we were in, let's say, late 2020, when nobody really knew what was going on. They did, but we didn't know. They knew that they had to convince us. They knew that they had to offer incentives because the virus wasn't bad enough for us to actually want to get the shot on our own, like people have talked about all the time. If it was some kind of airborne Ebola, then yeah, we'd be rushing to get a shot for that because nobody wants that. But instead, they had to do this.
Let's get into this.
Free fries when you get vaccinated?
What?
I got vaccinated.
He's doing a yummy. I want to do a yummy.
You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this?
Oh, a burger element. Oh my God, a burger element.
What state was this in?
New York. He's
yeah, dude. That burger, fries, and shake is like freaking $25, bro. Like, no wonder.
Facts. But Nick says I chose not to get the jab. I got nothing. False. You got your dignity. You got your conscience. You got the knowledge that you can stand up to the strongest propaganda push probably in the history of our country. Maybe I'm being a little bit hyperbolic, but I don't know. That's what you got. You got confirmation that you are not one of the stooges. That's what you got.
You got your choice.
Facts.
You used it.
So this is
let me check with.
This is how dumb they thought all of you were.
Bill Neathart. Is it too early in the day to eat a burger? No. This can be breakfast? Okay. I want you to look at this and think about, again, some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect all ways of life.
We got to be inclusive. We got to be inclusive. We can't talk about, taking experimental medicine without being inclusive. Shout out to Tread Guy Travels. Welcome to the party. Another awesome YouTuber just dropped his link. Please definitely go check him out. What does Tread Guy Travels say? TikTok is a great app if your goal is to lose brain cells. Well, I'll be honest with you. I spent a decent amount of time on TikTok, and like I talk about all the time, the algorithm is really, 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 really good. So if you want to see BS, it will show you BS. But as we're going to see here, there's a lot of interesting stuff that if you train it, if you are not a dumb person, if you have the attention span, then they won't show you just 30-second clips. And then, I mean, there's only one video here where it's taken from a podcast, and then they have to have some video game underneath it. There's only one video here. So I definitely agree that, it's not the best thing for everybody. But there's a lot of good stuff on there. And just like everything else, it is a tool of our society. It is an extension of just technology in general. And it's certainly not going anywhere. So I'm more in the camp of, maybe it's better to kind of dip your toe in, and so you know what you're dealing with. And at the end of the day, there's some interesting stuff on there. But let's see again, how dumb they think you are, and how dumb many people were.
Appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination.
In case it wasn't clear enough. Did you hear that?
Again, some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect all ways of life. But if this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination.
Oh, okay. Now I'm going to get it.
Vaccination. I'm getting a very good feeling.
Yeah, that's because you're eating bullshit food that is meant to give you a good feeling. That has nothing to do with injecting yourself with an experimental I mean, come on. What are we how many people fell for this? I really want to know. How many people did not actually think that they were going to get the jab, and then they saw this and they're like, well, I mean, free burger and fries. What was this? Shake Shack? I think it was Shake Shack.
Yep.
M169 says it's all about the algorithm. What do you search out? That's what it'll throw back at you. And the interesting part of TikTok is that it's not there. You don't need to search anything. You just open the app. I'll just do it right now. Then you open the app, and then it shows you a video right off rip. Oh, I bet he's gonna be at. I love this. This is a Texas show. Shout out to Trey, where you call in if you went on a date and then you got ghosted. You call in, they'll call the person, and it's entertaining, whatever. But I like that stuff. So if what you spend your attention on is what it will show you more of. So if you're what's the word? If you are conscious about what you are giving your attention to, then that will be picked up. If you're not, and you're just like, oh, well, this looks cool. Let me just check it out for a couple extra seconds. Oh, an NPC live streamer. Boop, boop, wow. Boop, boop, wow. If you spend 5 hours watching that just because you were curious, well, that's what's going to get served up. And Dan says, yeah, well, you injunct junk in both cases. Very, 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 very true.
About vaccination right this moment. Thank you to Randy Garudi. And, of course, Danny Meyer is doing so much to help us.
I wonder how those people feel about getting the shout out now.
With the recovery and the entire team. I've got to finish chewing for a moment. I think that would be more dignified, don't you think?
I don't think there's anything dignified about this, and there is no way to bring it back to that.
He doesn't even want to swallow it. After this, he's about to
throw
it in the trash.
Yeah, right? I mean, I love
everyone. We're going to keep rolling out incentives. We're going to keep making it easy. We're going to keep making it fun. We really, really need to get everyone vaccinated. What color? What's your race?
So that exactly begs the question. Why do you need all of these incentives? Why do you need to make it fun? If it's something that is good for people, if it's something that is, naturally something that we would want, why do you need to dress it up? And again, fine. A bunch of us didn't know what was going on. A bunch of you didn't know what was going on and followed the herd because you didn't know any better. Now you know better. Now you know better. One Jafo said it feels cringe watching a mayor eating while promoting something that isn't food. I mean, it kind of feels cringe watching a mayor eating while promoting anything by saying, oh, burger, yummy. This is yummy. You can be yummy too if you just do this thing. Like 100% cringe. There's nothing about that is reasonable. But might I remind you that things weren't always this way. Things weren't always this way. We used to have somebody who had a little bit of balls. We used to have somebody who kept clowns in check.
Okay, you want to put that on
You
my...
said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to meet with you so that we can work together in a bipartisan way to meet the needs of the American people. I think the American people recognize that we must keep government open.
Okay, and does anybody remember why the government was going to close?
That a shutdown is not worth anything, and that you should not have a Trump shutdown. You have the White House.
A Trump shutdown.
You have the White House.
Hey, we got great drink in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Good to see ya.
You have the Senate. You have the House of Representatives. You have the votes. You should pass it.
No, we
right
don't have
now.
the votes, Nancy, because in the Senate, we need 60 votes.
No, but in the House.
And we don't
you
have.
could bring it up right now.
Yeah, but I
today.
can't, excuse me, but I can't get it passed in the House if it's not going to pass in the Senate. I don't want to waste time.
Well,
So I'm pretty certain what they're talking about is the wall, the border wall, and it was saying that we haven't gotten anything done. If you put it to a vote, then we can whatever. And he's saying I'm not going to waste the Senate's time by having this vote when we know that once it goes over to the House that you guys aren't going to do anything. Why are we going to waste that time? Stop trying to put it on me as if I don't want this done. You are the one that's blocking this.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
Well, the fact is, you can get it started that way.
The House, we can get passed very easily,
Okay,
and we
then do
do.
it. Then
But
do
the
it.
problem is the
All right,
Senate,
I had it
because
flipped.
we
Yeah,
need
the
10
Senate.
Democrats to vote,
No,
and
no, that's
they
not
won't
the
vote.
point, Mr. President. The point is that there are equities to be weighed. And we're here to have a conversation in a
Correct.
prayerful way. So I don't think we should have a debate in front of the press on this.
Guys, can you do me a huge, huge favor and just hit that like button? Just give me two more. Thank you so
But
much.
the fact is, the House Republicans could bring up this bill if they had the votes immediately and set the tone for what you want.
And again, remember, this is what he ran on. We all knew what the tone was. Build the wall. That was the tone. That never stopped being the tone. Yeah, Dan, that's a different pop fast. We gonna deal with that later. You know what I mean?
We thought we were going to get it passed in the Senate, Nancy. We would do it immediately. We'd get it passed very easily in the House.
That's
We
not
would
the
get
point.
it, Nancy, I'd have it passed in 2 seconds.
And so, as somebody who used to be like a never Trumper, I would be like, oh, of course. He's just saying, of course, we would do this. We would do that. But looking back, it's very obvious that, yeah, he would do that. Hey, look who we got. Look who we got. Division Plus in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It has been a while. It is always a pleasure to see you, brother. I still need you. Help me with chess, man. I don't know where you've been, but I need your help. But welcome to the party.
Might get Lutch to actually beat me for once.
Maybe. we may never know. I appreciate that at 169.
It doesn't matter, though, because we can't get it passed in the Senate because we need 10 Democrat votes.
Well,
That's the problem.
again, let it
And it's something about the repetition of, look, I just said this to you, that is making not, and then she tries to twist it and throw it back at him in a different way. But look at the text. I miss having a president who kept these two clowns in check. But they're very good at kind of maneuvering and making it putting other politicians in a situation where, okay, I don't want to seem, I don't want to seem whatever. Whereas Trump doesn't give a flying fuck what he seems. He's like, this is what it is. I just told you. If you guys would let it pass in the I keep mixing it up, but if you guys let it pass in the Senate, we got it in the House or whatever the other way around, whatever it was. Stop trying to put this on me.
Let's have our conversation, then we can meet with the press again. But the fact is that legislating, which is what we do.
Okay, Kamala Harris. Yeah, so we are the Congress. And what we do is pass laws. Laws come from bills, okay?
You begin, you make your point, you state your case. That's what the House Republicans could do if they had the votes. But there are no votes in the House.
Exactly.
A majority of votes for a wall, no matter where you start.
Exactly right. You don't
If I needed the votes for the wall in the House, I would
Okay, so I got it mixed up again.
have them in one session
Well, then
would
go
be
do
done.
it. Go do it.
It doesn't help because we need 10 Democrats in
No,
the
don't
Senate.
put it on the
Bingo.
Absolutely put it on the Senate. If the Senate's the people who won't pass it, then put it on the Senate. And then, you know, the argument here then would be like, okay, then put it to the House, get the votes, and force them to be the ones to say no. That is what, you know, I don't remember the situation, you know, specifically, but just rewatching this now, probably that's something that we, you know, we should have done. And, you know, this video definitely does make Pelosi look bad. But how much worse would it have made her look if Trump actually did what she's saying?
Well, this is I think this is definitely before COVID, because none of them are wearing masks or anything like that. So this is obviously a game they've been playing for a while. Is Trump tries to do something and then they blame it on Trump. And then this is what they did with COVID too. He didn't lock down fast enough, so COVID got worse. So then he said, okay, the states can do what they want. So the states locked down. And then their governments got really bad, and then they tried to blame that on Trump. They tried to blame the first lockdowns on why it's always turning around and blame and point and blame, and when it's their own policies.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair enough, again, that is politics. That is the game that you're playing. So I mean, as much as I hate to see that's what she's doing, that the two of them, between Chuck and Nancy, that's what they're doing. That is their job. That is their job. So let's not forget that. But I don't mean I need to hate them any less.
Put it on a negotiation.
Okay, let me ask you this, and we're doing this in a very friendly manner.
I love that. I love that. Little things like that. Again, when I was a Never Trumper, I'd be like, friendly manner? You're over here saying blah, 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 blah. But that's a little dig to be like, okay, well, I'm telling you that this is friendly. So if you then, you know, get all hyphy, then it's going to make you look bad.
It doesn't help for me to take a vote in the House where I will win easily with the Republicans. It doesn't help to take that vote.
See, if you heard her, she said, you will not win.
So
That's why you
what's the
shouldn't.
point?
All right. Yeah. Well, just based on this conversation, even though Trump is right about the fact that it would waste the Senate's time, whichever, it would waste the Republicans' time to on their side of Congress to take this vote. But once you're challenged like that, and this was very widely spread, I assume this was on you know, CNN and Fox News and everything else, but it definitely went viral online as well. So once that is the case, thank you so much for the likes, guys. Very, very, very much appreciate that. Once this has gotten out and people are kind of seeing, then I've been like, all right, let's go then. Let's take the vote. Put it back to the House. Now, what are you gonna do? I thought you said we got to set the tone. Like, well, I never said that we were gonna pass the vote, but yeah, I just said that, you know, you should have set the tone. Nick says Pelosi makes herself look bad at all times just by showing up. True. 169 said, hell, the moment he restricted travel from China, they said he was xenophobic.
And the same thing with the Muslim travel ban. It wasn't, he didn't, it was a bunch of different countries. It wasn't just Muslims that he banned from flying on planes.
And even if it was, there's a reason that Muslim countries are called Muslim countries. There's a reason that we talk about Muslim countries. We don't talk about Japan. That's an Eastern country. When we talk about Muslim countries, there's a reason that people are doing things and living by certain values that we're worried about. And 169 said, Nancy always sounds like her taxes are about to fall out. I don't know what you're in. Tim Pool does the best. He does the best impression. And I'm going off of Tim, but I thought you should shut the tone. But he does it so good. That you're falling out thing, it's perfect. It's perfect. But that's exactly what she sounds like.
Because I'm not going to get the vote of the Senate. I need 10 senators. That's the problem.
So again, it would have been Trump. So, okay, fine. I will bring it to the Senate if you give me the 10 Democrats in the House who will sign on to this. Then we're good. But right now we're sitting here in a back and forth saying you should do the thing that doesn't make sense. I'm telling you it doesn't make sense. Yeah, but you should do the thing even though it doesn't make sense. Nancy, it doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense, but you should do it. Like, shut up. Kelly Green says, well, that area in the world has been at war for centuries, and that is not a coincidence. There is a reason. There is a reason that certain countries we want to vet a little bit more. That doesn't mean that everyone coming out of those countries is a bad person. It means the rules and social norms and culture that comes out of that area is very different than our country. And if we are going to be a melting pot of immigrants and this, that, and the other, then you have to be able to assimilate to American values, which again, have been lost. So that convolutes the whole conversation. But that's another issue entirely. But that's exactly why. That's exactly why. This is not some random group of people that he just decided to pick on because he's a mean orange man. Like, I'm on to posted MLTC. That's because they're floating in there all on the booze. Yeah,
I don't think it's booze. I think a lot of them. I think everyone in them is running on pills.
Cal Green said, "I do love pot." I said, "Shit, me too."
You have the White House. You have the Senate.
I have the White House. The White House is done, and the House would give me the vote if I wanted it. But I can't because I need, Nancy, I need 10 votes from Chuck.
Or let me say. And how many times has he said that? How many times has he said that? And he's just staying calm and cool. Look, I need the 10 votes. Without the 10 votes in the Senate, the House vote doesn't matter. Over and over and over and over again. You think he's on his 4th or 5th vodka? Yeah. I mean, probably, right? She probably is.
Let me just say one thing. The fact is, we do not have the votes in the House.
Nancy.
Okay, I just need a second. All right, let's take a projection drink. All right. We back in it? Everybody ready? You good? All right, we got this.
I do. And we need border security. Nancy, we need border security. It's very simple.
Of course we do.
We need.
Hey, we got Ashit Patel in the building. Welcome to the party.
Border security. People are pouring into our country, including terrorists. We have terrorists. We caught 10 terrorists over the last very short period of time. 10. These are very serious people. Our border agents, all of our law enforcement has
adrenochrome.
It's been incredible what they've done. But we caught 10 terrorists. These are people that were looking to do harm. We need the wall. We need, more important than anything, we need border security, of which the wall is just a piece.
Facts. But I mean, on a more serious note, Track Guy Travels, why is Nancy even still around? It's because there is a combination of money, people who don't pay attention, and people who are victim to the normalcy bias. They're used to seeing people they're used to seeing Nancy in this position, so they just want to keep it going. If somebody else comes in, how do we know? I apologize to Ashit. Welcome, Ashit. Glad to have you. Advanced Cybernetics is another good way that she's still around. Trad Guy Travel says Nancy and her husband probably do more damage to the country than the terrorists.
Bingo.
I would agree. Melty, do you agree?
Financially, yes.
I mean, even like outside of that, like what are they talking about right now? The border wall. They're trying to do everything to stop the border wall, let these actual terrorists into the country.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Chuck, did you want to say something?
Yeah, here's what I want to say. We have a lot of disagreements here. The Washington Post today gave you a whole lot of Pinocchios because they say you constantly misstate how much the wall is built, how much.
Oh no, the Washington Post. Well, we all know that they are a bastion of truth and journalistic integrity.
Much of the wall is built and how much is there, but that's not.
And why has only so much been built? Is that because Trump was like, I told him I was going to build a wall from sea to shining sea, but I was lying because I'm evil? Or is it because of exactly what we're watching right now?
Not the point here. We have a disagreement about the wall, whether it's effective or whatever. Not on border security, but on the wall. We do not want to shut down the government. You have called 20 times to shut down the government. You say, I want to shut down the government. We don't. We want to come to an agreement. If we can't come to an agreement, we have solutions that will pass the House and Senate right now and will not shut down the government. And
okay, do they include the wall? Then what are we talking about? Ashit, spot on, says wall sure seems to work for prisons.
Definitely.
Don't know why it wouldn't work for immigrants.
That's what we're urging you to do.
Great point.
Not threaten to shut down the government because let me just finish. Because you can't get your way.
Notice how every time Chuck talks, he's not talking to Trump. Look where he is focusing whenever he is talking.
and Senate right now and will not shut down the government. And that's what we're urging you to do. Not threaten to shut down the government.
Let me just finish.
Because you
No,
can't.
but now we're back over here.
Yeah, let me say something, Mr. President. You just say my way or we'll shut down the government.
Yeah, because your way is the good way.
We have a proposal that Democrats and Republicans will support to do a CR that will not shut down the government. We urge you to take it.
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
It is very good border
And if it's not good border security, I won't take it.
And that's the kind of thing, again, that as somebody who was a never Trumper, that I ate up the people who could spin this into him being just a blockhead who doesn't understand anything. It's Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. They're telling you that this, and you're just not listening, and all on and on and on and on. At the end of the day, they are on opposing sides in a game. I was too stupid to see it back then. At least I think I got a better idea about it now. But this is exactly what's happening. That it's not like they being Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. It's not like they don't have things that they would want to do that enrich themselves that don't help the country. I mean, I don't know if there's anything that they do want to do that would help the country. But of course, they're the good guys here. They're the good guys here. And it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Nick says, good point. It didn't for East Germany. It did for East Germany, and it's working for North Korea also. Absolutely. I got you. Shout out to Unwanted Foe. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He's ready. Yummy. You gotta see it. The people want to see it. Oh, look at that gray beard. He just turned 14 years old. He's so old. It's so cute. Thank you. Unwanted Foe. All right, Mel, you got anything before we jump back in?
Well, yeah, on the it worked for East Germany and North Korea. And those are places where if you tried to escape East Germany and go into West Germany, they would accept you there and they would try to help you across. In America, imagine a wall where Mexico doesn't want you really to cross, and the U.S. really doesn't want you to cross. If you do cross, they're going to find you because it's going to be way harder to do so, and it'll take you longer. So it's more chance of you being found and brought back across the border. So
fair point.
It'll definitely work better.
Well said, sir. Well said.
It's what
because when you look at these numbers of the effectiveness of our border security, and when you look at the job that we're doing,
you
with
just
our
said it is
military,
effective.
No, now it's effective because under me it's effective. He's saying, look at the numbers of what y'all motherfuckers were doing. Look at the numbers now under me. Well, you just said it's not effective. You knew exactly what he was saying, Chuck. You knew it.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you just said
without
it's effective.
a wall, these are only areas where you have the walls.
We want to do
where
this.
you have walls, Chuck, it's effective. Where you don't have walls, it is not effective.
And exactly. It's that fucking simple. It's that simple. Where you have a wall, it works. Where you don't have a wall, it doesn't work. Therefore, we should have a wall so that it works. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
Let's call a halt to this. We've come in.
Oh, let's call a halt. You're not getting you're not getting him to move at all because he has a completely rational position that you are stepping all over by not actually listening and engaging with what he's saying. So let's just move this over. We've come here as the first branch of government. Shut up.
Shut up. Here as the first branch of government. Article 1, the legislative branch. We're coming in good faith to negotiate with you about how we can keep the government
open.
We're going to keep it open.
You can keep the government open by doing what the F I'm telling you to do as the commander-in-chief and leader of this goddamn country.
If we have border security. If we don't have border security, Chuck, we're not going to keep it open.
I'm with you. We are going to have border security.
And it's the same border. You're bragging about what has been done.
By us.
We want to do the same thing we did last year, this year. That's our proposal. If it's good then, it's good now, and it won't shut down the government.
Chuck, we can build a
But that's
much
it.
bigger
Let's
section with
debate.
more money.
Let's debate in private. Okay?
Oh, private, huh?
private.
Well, Trump is willing to have this conversation openly and not dance around anything. Just have his point, say what he's going to say, and every time you say the same stupid point, he's going to repeat his point. Well, let's do this in private. Let's do this in private.
to avoid, frankly, a fact, and we can.
We need
dispel
border
that.
security. I think we all agree that we need border security.
Yes,
Is that
we
right?
do.
Good.
We do.
See, we get along. Thank you, everybody.
You say border security and the wall. Can you have border security without the wall?
You need the wall.
Great
The wall is
question.
a part of border security.
Great question.
Yeah, we need border security. The wall is a part of border security. You can't have very good border security without the wall. No.
Simply put, you can't have very good border security without the wall. And you can agree or disagree. You can agree or disagree with that. But the fact of the matter is, they are not making an argument. They are just saying, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. I want to folks that I'll never understand their argument on this. It's basically like advocating for all houses to have no fences or locks on any doors. Yeah, I mean, have you ever tried to put a pool into your backyard without a fence? In, I think, any state besides, like, Florida. And I might even be wrong about Florida. Fences work there. I want to focus on to say Mike Pence is doing better in this video than he did in the debate. No, I disagree. He had some moments. He had some moments in the debate. M169 says the bottom line is the majority of elected officials have completely forgotten who they work for. He got elected on border security. Exactly. So that's part of why this video made the two of them, Nancy and Chuck, look so bad. Because again, agree or disagree with Trump personally, the people have said we want border security. Even if they've said they don't want the wall, then with that president, if you want border security, do you want to be not xenophobic more than you care about border security? Then what are we talking about? What are we talking about? How much? So I mean, you know, they go on and on. We'll go to the next one. Any thoughts, Melton Mind Media?
I think definitely this video makes it look bad for Nancy Pelosi and for Chuck Schumer, and it's definitely like if it worked last year, it's gonna work again this year. Like if it was good enough last year, I think that's the point that he's making. It wasn't good enough, and they want to keep saying it was good enough. But as you see, it wasn't good enough. And even like under Obama was the deporter in chief, and the reason why there were so many deportations is because it was so easy for people to get into the country, and you had to deport more people. But as you see with Trump, it wasn't as many deportations because it was harder for people to get into the country, and they were scared to come into the country because they thought they were going to be deported.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's crazy how they complicate this. It's crazy how they like people are doing this. We want to do this so that they can't. That's the whole argument. That's the whole argument.
But then they want to say, but then they could just go like this. But it's like, but that's harder to do. We want to. It's not. We don't. It's never going to be impossible to do. We want to make it harder to do.
Bingo. Exactly. So I think if I'm looking correctly, we are. I got one more political one for you, and then we're gonna kind of move through some different types of issues here. But this is just a short, funny one. So it is Just Stop Oil causing more emissions. So Melton Mind Media just did a video on the Just Stop Oil
Burning Man protest.
Yeah, why don't you give them a little bit of, so before we dive into that, why don't you talk a little bit about what happened if anybody is not familiar?
If you've never been to Burning Man, there's actually one road to get to the desert of Burning Man. And some political protesters or emissions, and they were actually anti-capitalist protesters also. They put a trailer in the middle of the road, blocking it, and they actually caused a 10-mile pileup of cars on this one road to Burning Man. And it just shows that they don't understand that this was a hippie movement to start with, and a lot of people probably agreed with them, but causing them problems is definitely not going to help build their base. And leaving all these cars running is obviously causing more emissions than just letting them go and get to the place they need to be.
Yeah, right? I mean, silly. And Mon69 said, that was so freaking amazing. I loved it. Well, I love that you loved it.
Thank you.
You're going to love this one. So that's what this is about. It's just a little skit. I've seen these guys on TikTok, and they are funny. This is just a little short one, but if you're scrolling and you see them, especially this guy, stop and watch. Nick says, remember to like and subscribe and join us on Discord. Thank you, sir. And 169 said the response to the roadblock. Yeah. Kel Green said, you mean they're a bunch of big, dumb artards? Yes, sir. That is exactly what I mean. Unwanted Foe said, watching the cop truck plow through the barricade was hilarious. Yeah, it wasn't very strong, was it? It was basically like an erector set from your little cousin or some shit. Yeah, it was a little pathetic. But you guys are gonna enjoy this.
If you plot vehicles on the road and their engines are running, doesn't that mean they're creating more emissions?
That's what Melty said.
Classic far-right boomer comment.
That's the whole thing. Oh my God, I just thought that was hilarious. Anything on that before we move on? Obviously just a little.
I think the response of that is pretty much how they think about it. Is like, I feel good for what I'm doing, so I am right. Like it's obviously like it's a ploy to get attention, and it's not getting the attention that they want. All press is good press until it's bad press.
Facts. Well said. So we're gonna shift a little bit. So if you hold on, let me remove you real quick. If you can see here, this is from 2005. If you are not familiar with who this is Sam Harris, one of the worst cases of TDS that I think, period. The worst case. This man was I've been asked the question, if you could have dinner with one person, alive or dead, who would it be? Now, this was around 2005, well, maybe not quite 2005, maybe 2010. So I was still super Christian in 2005. But when I discovered him and I went, got through all that, I was asked, and I said, this man. I used to listen to his podcast, pun intended, religiously. And then Trump came around.
Yep.
Now, I want you to see. In fact, we're going to do a little bit more of this. I want you to see how he's talking. Now, remember, he was part of the New Atheists. So he was this, I'm a skeptic, and I think about science, and it's this and that, and da-da-da, and it's even labeled, scientist destroys religion in 2 minutes. Trust me, I'm still on your side. But I'm trying to decide about, so as we listen to this, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Sam Harris's more recent political opinions. Think about him talking about either trans stuff, the vaccine, or Trump in general. Instead of talking about religion, replace that with any of those three things and see what it does.
We've all assimilated this idea that we should respect other people's religious beliefs. Your neighbor has the right to believe whatever he wants to about God and the moral structure to this universe. He has the right to believe whatever he wants to about what happens after death, and you should respect these beliefs merely because he believes them.
Haha, there we go.
Where else in our discourse do we play by these rules?
Whoops.
When was the last time anyone in this room was admonished to respect another person's beliefs about history or geography or engineering or medicine? We do not respect people's beliefs. We evaluate their reasons.
We do not respect people's beliefs. We evaluate their reasons. Why do you think it is okay, or not even okay, why do you think it is possible for a man to transform into a female? What are your reasons for hating Donald Trump so much? What are your reasons for believing in the vaccine agenda?
If my reasons are good enough, you will helplessly believe what I believe. That is what it is to be a rational human being. Reasons are contagious. If I came on this stage and said that the Holocaust never happened, you would be under no burden whatsoever to respect my beliefs. And we don't respect the beliefs of people who think Elvis is still alive, and the people who make all those crazy pilgrimages to Graceland. These people do not get invited to sit on our boards of directors. They don't become presidents of universities. I mean, that is That is all well and good, except when you change the subject to God, and then all
To
bets
stop
are off.
Trump.
Oh, or now if we change the subject to your gender, or if we change the subject to Trump, or if we change the subject to COVID policy.
And the sky's the limit. You can be certain with zero evidence, and
sound familiar?
Respected for it. It is
sound
taboo
familiar?
To push the conversation into criticism of your beliefs. So what I'm advocating, really, and what I advocate in my book, is a kind of conversational intolerance. We don't need new laws. We don't have laws against Holocaust deniers.
Nope, we don't need them.
You know, all we need is a standard of intellectual honesty.
A standard of intellectual honesty. Keep that one in mind. A standard of intellectual honesty.
Where people who pretend to be certain about things.
People who pretend to be certain about things. Like their gender or the fact that, I mean, come on, I don't need to say it over and over.
They're clearly not certain about, receive some conversational pressure.
So why is it that this man can understand exactly what exactly this line of thinking? But when it comes to Trump, when it comes to any of these other things, less than 20 years later, he can't see the connection.
I mean, this would all be accomplished if we treated everyone who spoke about God on the floor of the Senate as though they had just spoke about Poseidon.
If we spoke about everybody who speaks on the Congress floor about trans rights like they just spoke about Poseidon.
I mean, just imagine.
And everybody's going to laugh. Oh, my goodness, that's so ridiculous. What happened to you, Sam? And we're going to show exactly what happened to Sam.
Imagine, we have all these hurricanes in the Gulf, and some senator gets it into his head that we should really be praying to Poseidon. I mean, this, after all, is his jurisdiction. The ocean is reclaiming our cities. Clearly, that would be the end of that person's political career.
And, talk about the end of a political career. Let's just finish this last piece up.
And yet it's not like someone discovered in the 3rd century that the biblical God exists, but Poseidon doesn't.
It's not like someone discovered that you can actually change your gender and, your sex. They just started believing it. So I want to take you to a clip that, again, you may have seen. I think we're right there, right? Yeah. Check this out.
So yeah, censor away.
At that point, Hunter Biden.
So this is from recently after. So okay, where is this? This is about a year ago. This Michael Noah's covered this on August 19th of 2022. And I think this podcast that he was on with Sam Harris, I think that was about a week before.
Literally could have had the corpses of.
No. I need that in full.
Away.
At that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared. Right?
How is that reasonable?
Right? It's like there's nothing. First of all, it's Hunter Biden, right? It's not Joe Biden. But even if whatever scope of Joe Biden's corruption is, like if we could just go down that rabbit hole endlessly and understand that he's getting kickbacks from Hunter Biden's deals in Ukraine or wherever else, right? Or China. It is infinitesimal compared to the corruption we know Trump is involved in.
Is it though? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Yes, the man that we just heard making fun of people who can't think straight just said that the corruption of the Biden family is infinitesimal compared to what we see with the Biden. Like, who told you that, bro? Who told you that?
The scope, he said any scope. So if they found dead children's bodies in Hunter Biden's house, It didn't, even if Joe Biden was Joe was connected to it, he wouldn't have cared. That's what he's saying. Like he doesn't care about even so, like if his dad was helping him hide that, even if his dad wasn't involved, he wouldn't care. That's crazy to me.
Yep. Shout out to Rabbi Glickman. Welcome to the party. Said I've got 2 words to describe Sam Harris. I get this wrong. Pentele Yid. We're gonna have to Google that.
I'm guessing that's Yiddish.
I'm assuming it's Yiddish. Pentele Yid. Okay. It means often translated as Jewish spark is a Yiddish phrase describing the notion that every Jewish person has essential or Jewishness. Is that what you meant? Oh, okay. Pretty good pronunciation. All right. See, we doing things here. But I just, the fact of the matter is the man is lost it. And, before you got here, Rabbi, I want to let you know that I was singing his praises back from 2005. I was very much enamored with Sam Harris's work before he got TDS. But it doesn't matter how much I respect you. If you start doing things that I no longer respect, then I'm not going to respect you anymore. And so while Sam is talking about, it doesn't matter, it's infinitesimally small. Let's take a look at what's happening under the left-wing agenda, specifically with race.
If your kids have lighter skin, they're not allowed to go to their school's Playdate social. It's only for Black, Brown, and API families.
But I was told that this isn't happening. Melty, what's going on here? I was told that segregation is not coming back. But here we see for Black, Brown, and API. I don't even know what API means. Black, Brown, and API families only.
API.
It's comical that these progressive liberals think they are progressing society when they're really just repeating history. We've gotten to the point where diversity, equity, and inclusion programs have gone so far that they're now promoting segregation. Are we actually teaching our kids that race is such a significant factor in who they are?
Asian Pacific Islander.
That's weird. So what if you're Asian, but you're not a Pacific Islander?
I think when they
what if
I think that's Hawaiian, isn't it? That's kind of isn't that
I mean, technically, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But Hawaii, and then going over to Japan and stuff like Thailand and stuff like that. And I guess it's covered under brown.
But
so happy to be brown. If be referred to as brown.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. So your race depends on these things, but it should be it shouldn't be race or anything like that. It should be the culture you're raised in.
Yep. And what's the culture that we're all brought up in? American culture. What is this whole goddamn channel about? Pushing American culture so that we don't need this kind of BS.
They are, that they should actively exclude others based off of it. I thought that we wanted to build a future where race doesn't matter.
I said, shit, me too.
Where when you look at somebody, you get to meet them and know them, and then you can judge them. But now we're creating a world where we look at how much pigmentation somebody has in their skin, and then we draw assumptions on who they are. This is a prime example of the pendulum swinging too far. We're overcorrecting history to a point where we're repeating it. It is.
Oh, that was a good one. I gotta hear that again. I gotta hear that one again. What did he say?
It is dangerous to look at people as just a part of their group and not as individuals. This mindset led to the atrocities in history.
Right. I want to hear that line again.
Somebody has in their skin, and then we draw assumptions on who they are. This is a prime example of the pendulum swinging too far. We're overcorrecting history to a point where we're repeating it.
We're overcorrecting history to a point where we're repeating it. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. As Rabbi was saying, yeah, not being white seems to be the only real criteria. Unwanted Foe said we got to be inclusive by being exclusive of just one skin color.
Well, the thing is, it was corrected. We did correct this, and now we're going back. And it's the thing where
it's dangerous.
If you fix racism, and Democrats mostly run on someone's racist or something like that, they don't have anything more to run on if you get rid of racism. So they have to flip it and make racism still a thing and a problem. It's the same thing with Republicans and gun control. They're never going to fully have no gun control because that is one of their big running points. And that's why they're never going to fully get rid of it. Because if they get rid of that, what do they have to run on anymore?
Good point. Good point. So again, that's a dude I'm relatively familiar with his work on TikTok. Like I see him, sometimes, and clearly a gay dude, but clearly against all the the BS from the left. So I thought that was going to be a little bit more on the trans, talking about trans stuff. But now we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it, guys, and it's going to get a little bit dark. But like I said, if we don't continue talking about these things, there's so much going on that you will forget. You will forget. So unfortunately, we have to continue to go over the same points over and over and over because people forget. We have this woman here. It says, detransition woman who received surgery as a minor discusses the problem with gender affirmation only.
It's important to remember that.
Wow. Did not expect that. Okay, hold on. All right. Whoa.
It's important to remember that only telling someone yes and telling someone yes, you're valid, and only affirming them, and only saying yes is not an act of love.
Facts.
That's not what love is. Love is not giving in to every whim and only saying yes.
Love is not giving in to every whim and only saying yes. Can you think of any other area besides your gender that we talk about things, issues in this way? Of course not, because that's irrational. Shout out to Lefty Lucy. Welcome to the party. Said diversity kills multiculturalism. Absolutely it does. It creates the segregation that we just saw, as opposed to the melting pot that this is supposed to be. This country is supposed to be. Welcome to the party, Lefty Lucy. Dan said, hashtag that's not a woman. And M169 is saying
they nailed it.
Whoever, I don't care. That is, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. That just looking, we were talking. I think it was Amanda was talking about, like, I can just tell. I like I said, I was not expecting a deep voice. I was not expecting. This looks like a woman to me.
If you can't tell through the face lunch, you look right here. Well, the Adam's apple does not lie.
I know this is. I know you guys. I know this is not going to go the way I want it to go. But let's see. What did you think this person's gender was before you heard voice?
I could tell that it was their original gender. I could tell. I could tell much.
I'm just saying. I want to see and be honest. Remember, it's anonymous. We don't need to. I'm not saying I'm trying to like do anything. I'm just saying I was surprised by that tone of voice. What's up, Indian J Word? Just hanging out, my boy. Melted Mind Media. Glad you are here. Welcome to the party, Lefty Lucy. Rabbi Glickman says hands typically tell the tale as well. Yeah, that's a big tell. But again, in this video, you can't really tell. Height, hip width, hands, and the Adam's apple. Those are the biggest ways to tell. And so this is what I'm saying. M169 is saying testosterone will do a number on a woman's voice. So y'all are saying this is definitely a female. Or excuse me, this is definitely a male. That sounds like a woman, a female woman who has taken testosterone, who's taken hormone blockers or whatever. And that's why the voice sounds like that. Otherwise, if it was not a woman, then we probably hear a more natural sounding male voice. I don't know. We're at 75% male, but we're gonna see. Maybe I don't even know if this person says what they are. Lefty Lucy said it's got a meat sausage, whatever it is.
Rewatch gang. I wanna hear what y'all think of
Yeah, replay gang. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think before you heard the voice, did you think this was a male or a female? Daniel Cabrera says you were really fooled by that. Looks like Leah Thomas. Nah. I'm not saying I'm attracted to this person. I'm just saying I thought it was a woman. There's a lot of ugly bitches out here. All right, get off my back. Rabbi the Short King, let's go. 5-4 over here. Got you beat, but I am the Short King. All right, let's see what we got. Come on.
Love is putting up those boundaries and saying no and having to keep someone safe even when they might be upset at you for it. Because only saying yes and only going down one path and only affirming isn't love, it's enabling.
It's enabling. If it was a drug addict, you would not say, yeah, we need to affirm that you're a drug addict and make sure you have the drugs that you need. When we talk, when we talk about Eugenia Cooney and people who have, eating disorders, and they think they're fat when they're literal skeletons. I mean, have you guys seen a recent picture of Eugenia Cooney? Have you?
Me?
Yeah.
Is that the? I'm bad with names. Is that the super skinny chick?
That is indeed the super skinny chick. Really? Let me give me the smallest one. Hold on. Let's take. How about this one?
You need a side view. Really shows.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We get rid of that. Because you really need to see what we're talking about here. I mean,
like, just look at her arm right there. Oh my gosh, look at that.
What? That's the biggest picture of her. But I mean, you could tell what we're talking about.
Look at her legs. Her legs are almost completely bone.
And I mean, like, I know I'm skinny. I know it. I get it. I'm skinny. But at least, like, there's something. There's something there. I'm just like,
this is bad. This is bad. You could lift her up by one hand. Like, it's so. How did she not get knocked over by the wind?
She probably does. Amadjafo said, it said at the very beginning that she detransitioned. So I think it's a biological woman. We got to go back and check. I missed that, but I think you're right. My fellow Short King Rabbi Glickman says, I like my women with bones on their bones. Oh, man. Right up your alley, bro. Right up your alley, but not Dan. Dan says, nasty.
And what Unwanted Foe just said there, if that person really is a detransitioned woman, like that was actually a woman, that just goes to show that if you do these processes and then come back, you cannot come back fully from this. Like, that just goes to show you cannot fully come back.
Completely permanent to some extent. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like, again, I think that it's a female. I think it's a female.
It may not be physical. You may be able to come back fully physically, depending how far you go. But the mental break that you have may never be able to be healed, or it will stay with you the rest of your life. And you'll have to do therapy maybe and all these sessions to help you get back to having that normal mindset in your life.
Mm. And M169 brings up a great point here. Says the social contagion is also why psych units do not put anorexic patients housed together. Because, they'll work on things together. And, when I was in high school, I was going out with a girl for a while, and she kind of had, it was like 2006. So every girl had an eating disorder, but, hers was a little bit more. And, she was in a psych unit for a while. And, yeah. Exactly. They'll affirm each other's just, yeah, you are fat. You got a little bit of fat there. Like, you can see if you can pinch it, then my arms are so fat. Meanwhile, it's like, what are we talking about? What? That's my whole arm. That's for real. That's not a joke. This isn't Photoshop. This is really me.
He's not holding up a pencil, guys. That's his actual arm.
Lefty Lucy says, don't do drugs, kids, especially the regulated ones. I would say do all the drugs that aren't regulated. Just don't do the ones that are regulated.
I do not condone any drug use.
All right. All right. So we get rid of this. Let's go. Detransition woman, let's go. 78% of you were wrong. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Oh, you can tell. You can see. It's a man. Da 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 da. Get out of here, bruh. Get out of here, bruh. What you mean? What does that say? Read it for me. Read it for me.
Detransitioned woman who receives I can't read it now.
Oh.
Detransitioned woman who received surgery as a minor discusses the problem with gender affirmation only.
Got him. I told you. I told you. I told you, children. Don't you understand? I know better. I know what's good. I know what is good.
Hit her up, Lutch. Hit her up.
Ooh, unwanted foe is coming for you. Unwanted foe is coming for you.
The fine woman, go ask Matt Walsh.
What?
Go ask Matt Walsh.
I'm holding you to this. I'm holding you to this. You are not allowed on this platform if you can't fucking define woman.
It is adult female.
There you go. There you go. See, how hard was that? M169 said, I was right. Yes, you were, mainly because I listened at the beginning of the video. Shout out to M169. I missed that totally, but I told you, motherfucker. I know. It's so easy to tell. This is definitely a man. Oh, my God. Hashtag totally not a woman. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. You're sure. So what you're saying is that you, due to the transition that this female went through, that you are deciding that it's man forever. Or are you just wrong? Or are you just wrong?
To apologize to this woman. I'm sorry this happened to you.
You deserve it. You deserve to apologize. Keep going.
I'm sorry. If I see you in the streets, I'll call you a woman, but I will not say you're a beautiful woman. I'll tell you that much.
Fair enough. Shout out to Jay Luigi. Welcome to the party. Oh, come on, Dan. Going with the low blow.
He got you.
Low blow. All right. I see how it is. All right. Let's
up those boundaries and saying no and having to keep someone safe even when they might be upset at you for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because only saying yes and only going down one path and only affirming isn't love, it's enabling.
Is this a real song? Or is this like
I can't even tell what they're saying in the song.
God damn you, Dan. God damn it. God damn you. Okay. So there was a time when I didn't really know much about politics, okay? And I wanted to get more involved in politics. And I thought I was going to be a smart guy. And I said, you know what? Instead of just watching MSNBC, the people who are going to tell me what I want to hear, I'm going to watch CNN and Fox News and MSNBC. Now, obviously, you can see in hindsight, which is 2020, that would lead you down the road to making very stupid decisions. Indeed, I did. God damn it. There it is. God damn it. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, you know, I'm honest with you guys. I've made mistakes in my life. I will make mistakes again. But I promise that I'm going to be the guy that I say that I am. I promise I'm going to be the person that I say that I am. I promise that I'm going to stand up for the things that I believe, that I say that I believe in. But, you know, I mean,
Lutch, you're not allowed on this platform until you apologize for voting for Hillary Clinton.
You can shut the fuck up. You can get the fuck out of my face. All right, let's let our wonderful woman here finish what she's saying. Let's go back a little bit and see exactly what she's saying.
This mentally beautiful woman.
Enabling. And I feel like that's just something that
nobody here voted for Biden. I'm just saying.
Parents need to understand with this.
Parents do need to understand. Yeah. So I mean, you know, obviously we can joke about the circumstances of the video itself, but that was not a funny video at all. That was not even close to funny. That was heartbreaking. And that is one person. And luckily, she seems to be young enough where, you know, she can go through some level of, I guess you call it rehabilitation, to get some semblance of a normal life. And but that's not going to be the case for everybody. It's just not going to be the case for everybody.
I saw a therapist.
Whoa, getting ahead of myself here. So that one was a little bit dramatic and not as informative, but this one a bit more informative.
I saw a therapist because I was going to get top surgery. Thank God I didn't. And I went and saw a therapist once, and I remember this was like about 6 to 8 months down the road from my transition. I was starting to really actually pass as a guy. And
okay, so within 6 months, of you deciding I want to change my gender, you are now passing as a guy. Lest we forget the dude who put out that video of like, oh, I can't be a man, like I transitioned and it's so lonely. Nobody wants to give me a hug. Like, bruh, what did you think was going on over here? Lefty Lucy says she may be a woman, but I can smell the testosterone on her from here. That's how strong her tranny radar is, or your tranny radar is. I don't know. Sounds like cope to me. Yo, you were so sure that was a male. You were so sure. I was right. Nick says, that's why I like you. You are actually honest. That is not common. I respect that, brother. I respect you as well, and I appreciate you being here. Always with the support. Jay said, cutting off organs seems like a major mistake. There is no coming back. Super facts.
And I went to see another therapist about getting top surgery, and it only took one therapy appointment for me to explain that I was trans or identified as trans, and I wanted to get top surgery.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was told that there is a rigorous process to go through before you can do these things. But maybe I misheard her. Let's make sure.
And I went to see another therapist about getting top surgery, and it only took one therapy appointment for me to explain that I was trans or identified as trans, and I wanted to get top surgery. They didn't ask me any questions. They didn't like poke or prod or try to be like, how long have you been transitioning?
That would be a good question.
You sure this is the right thing for you?
Another good question.
Nothing. They sent me a letter or something to my insurance company so I could get approved under insurance to go get this surgery. I had even been talking to the doctor's office that does these. Everything was approved. Nobody questioned me. Nobody did anything. I was basically diagnosing myself.
You mean like everybody else in the trans community? That's literally what gender affirming care means, is that you diagnose yourself and we affirm you. But that's not a problem because reasons.
Well, I don't understand this. This is the I feel like this was the side that was pushing the love yourself for who you are mentality. And now they're going all the way into change yourself and change the reality around you to be what you want to be. And I'm just happy that a lot of people are waking up from this, even though the person that you're showing probably hasn't fully awoken from this, but they realize that there's future consequences to their actions and that this could be something later in life that is going to affect them.
Yeah. And I mean, just looking at this now, this definitely is a wig.
Oh,
this is definitely a wig.
Yeah. Well, look, you see their neck. You see that little bump? That's yeah, that right there. That's the surefire sign. Yeah, yours is really pronounced.
Anyway, N169 said years ago, a person had to live as the opposite sex for a year before the doctor would sign off on reassignment surgery. Not anymore. It's not 1 year. It's 1 moment.
Consistently throughout my entire transition, I was responsible for my own medical diagnosis, which is
exactly what gender affirming care means. You are responsible. You who has mental problems, you who does not have a degree, you who don't even need to have read a book about any of this, are responsible for telling the doctors what to do with the penalty that they may lose their license for being transphobic. But this is fine, right? This is totally cool. This is so totally not going to lead to half of an entire generation being royally screwed up. Unwanted Foe said, isn't top surgery removal of the chest? So isn't this a biological woman too? Yeah. Yep.
Well, I thought, isn't you could also be adding? Oh no, it was chest removal.
Yeah, this is. I'm
Did
pretty
they
sure
say removal, or did they just say
she said mastectomy.
top surgery? I think they just said top surgery.
Well, yeah, that usually that means that they're getting a mastectomy. That's usually what it means.
I thought it was. I thought it was adding.
Because usually they would say get a boob job, but when they say top surgery, usually I don't know for sure, but that's usually how it's used. Nick says, poor girl probably would have been pretty if she had not tried to be a boy. I mean, if you had nice eyes, I'll say that. Trad God Travel said, WebMD started this. Hot take. Hot take. As soon as everyone started diagnosing themselves and people thought they could be a doctor, damn you, WebMD.
Haram!
That's a great point. That's a great point. People got and was a joke all over TV and movies and stuff. It's like, you got to get off WebMD. Oh, I think I got testicular cancer because of that. Yeah. Great point. Great point. Jay says, it seems funny how people want to self-diagnose and then act all innocent and naive when reality hits. Want to have their cake and eat it too. Lefty Lucy says, doctors used to do lobotomies. Maybe they should be brought back. I mean, I don't know about all of that, but I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Trans remorse is the worst type of remorse. I mean, I don't know if it's worse than lobotomy remorse, but you probably wouldn't get lobotomy remorse because you're not capable of remorse after a lobotomy. So then, yes, I agree with you. Yeah, M169. Top surgery means breast removal. That's the lingo that is used. We can check the very beginning again. I mean, we're about halfway through a 2-minute video, 3-minute video.
It might be clearer later in the video.
Let's just see.
I don't trust. I don't have any trust now.
Yeah,
I think they're all dudes. I think they're all dudes.
But again, at this age, the men that are transing themselves, they are usually typically older. It's girls that are younger that are more likely to transition, and men that are older.
What's this person's name? Do you know?
Nope.
Damn it.
Some bitch.
Really crazy, and it's something that's unfortunately very, very common.
I've had relapses on T in short periods of time where I've decided to re-identify as a trans man.
Okay, so this is clearly somebody who is on the spectrum. That is a female. I mean, listen to the way that they talk. This is absolutely not to make fun of anyone. This is just, my ears. I have people who are on the spectrum in my family. Listen to this.
Had relapses on T in short periods of time where I've decided to re-identify as a trans man. Well, as a man, as I put it.
As you put it, but as science does not. Jay said, isn't gyno safer than getting surgery? Much cheaper as well. I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
Is gyno safer than getting surgery? Like, I don't know. I'm about to look it up.
Elaborate, sir, please. We got Lefty Lucy saying, how can we trust these delusional people? We can't, bro. We can't.
Gyno is the surgery. I think that's removal of I think that's what you get, like guys get when they have that's like what The Rock got when it's where you have too much test. What? I forget how to describe it. It's like he had too much female hormone in his body, so his boobs started to get bigger. So that's getting it's where his boobs.
Oh yeah, like a gynomastia.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Hey, shout out to Men's Health Space, aka a different shade of purple. Just wanted to say hello. Thank you so much. And of course, that makes you the new sponsor of the stream. And of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty. Thank you so much, brother. Very, very, very much appreciated.
I'll go to the doctor because, I'm thinking that I'm going to get on testosterone. And they'll be like, they'll be fully affirming of that, not questioning the fact that I've gone back and forth like many times, like not asking, why are you changing your mind so much? They just like completely affirm it. The only issue I run into is like my primary care physician, she refers me to someone else, but
Shout out again to Men's Health Space. Thank you so much.
Well,
Go ahead.
Do you hear what there's like? No one tried to help me. But here's the thing: you have to help yourself. When I have ideas, like when I debate myself on abortion or debate myself on trans ideologies, I go deep into thought. I turn off other things, and I go, what do I think? What in my moral structure do I think is the right thing here? And you have to think about yourself. You can't have other people, like, it does help to have other people come in and give their opinion and give their idea if you're stuck on something, but you can't think that other people are going to save you from this and help you. You have to mentally challenge yourself and debate yourself on these topics to understand your ideas.
Well said. And Trad Guy Travels just became a member. Welcome to being a disciple. That counts too, baby. That counts too. Morty is so happy. Thank you, Trad Guy Travels. Very, very, very much appreciated. So Jay says, Izzy, right? If you crank up that juice to the max, gynomastia. Lefty Lucy says, I'm with Melted Mind Media. They're all dudes. Except for this one and the last one and the one before that. But hey, I feel you. Morty Vision. Exactly. All right, let's hop back in and see what they are saying.
she's still overly affirming. She's not questioning why I'm wanting to go on testosterone and then
That's not her job. It's not her job to question you. You are the one to diagnose, and she is the one to affirm. That's what words mean.
why I'm going off with it and then why I'm going back on it. Like, you think that would be something they would be concerned about.
I personally believe that exploratory style therapy would have helped me to dig down into the roots of why I was so uncomfortable as a girl. And
so this is a woman as well. This is a woman as well.
Later as a young woman. I also believe that I was failed because I wasn't screened for developmental disabilities. Knowing that I was on the autism spectrum might have helped me to reframe my experience growing up as a weird girl. What happened?
Weird girl. Hey, shout out to, who is this? Melted, Mind Melted Media or Melted Mind Media with the 3 months. Thank you, sir. On the panel and given to the channel. Look at that. Yummy. Let's give an extra one for the extra months. Thank you, sir. Very, very, very much appreciated. Dan like that one. Beautiful. Thank you so much, sir. We always like to
you end up with cases like me, right, where someone who needed therapy got this treatment that they didn't need in the first place. Treatment that is irreversible. All of those doctors who have their agenda to get as many people on those pills as possible, they don't ever question your motives. They just affirm you believe that you're supposed to be the opposite sex. That's how you get more and more people detransitioning.
Absolutely. And it's only going to get worse. Hey, shout out to Jay for the super sticker. Thank you so much. Morty is loving it. He's shaking with excitement. Oh, thank you. Very, 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 very much.
I started doing the super stickers and talking shit podcast, and bro, everyone started doing super stickers out of nowhere.
I'm with it. I am totally with it. So before we move off of any of this trans stuff, and again, I did just drop Melted Mind Media's link to his channel. Please definitely go check him out. Give him a sub. We just did a collab yesterday, and I think it's pretty dope. I don't.
Poor Mitch.
Mitch?
Yeah, Mitch McConnell. That's what our collab was on.
Yeah,
Poor Mitch.
Yeah. Oh, poor Mitch McConnell. Man, if y'all didn't see him freeze up again, go check it out. Go check it out. It is scary. Yep, just like that. Just like that. Oh, Dan said, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You guys know the goddamn
Soon I'm gonna freeze up.
Melted
like
My
that.
Media got one new sub, and Nick is already sub. Gang,
Thank you, Nick.
Very, very cool. Very, very awesome. So I got one more for you guys with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk in the building. Obviously, this is not Charlie Kirk, but
question about puberty blockers specifically, because I was on them for a several amount of years.
If you don't mind me asking, did you would you agree they're pretty savage pharmacological agents?
They've left me with permanent irreversible damage, so yes, they are.
Yeah.
Well, God bless you. We need more people to speak out against it. I mean, you take one puberty blocker, for example, which it's an off-label use, Lupron.
I was on that.
You were on Lupron.
Oh my God.
Okay, so do you know what Lupron is used for usually?
Chemical castration. It's used for prostate cancer.
Yes.
It's used for
chemical castration of offenders.
Off-label for endometriosis, and it was used for precocious puberty, which is what I had.
Yes, and the first one that you mentioned, rapists used to be given Lupron, and the ACLU and left-wing groups came in and said it's inhumane to give people that are rapists Lupron. What would your...
It's inhumane to give the ARPists Lupron. But if somebody comes in and says, I feel like this or I feel like that, totally fine. They're only 14? No problem. All good.
The one people you could possibly debate me on, well, I'd probably agree with, mostly chemically castrating, is the ones that they say it's humane to do too. But people like kids, oh, that's fine. That's completely fine.
Terrible.
Your message be then to the world where they say, but it's the loving thing to give a 13-year-old Lupron?
It will ruin your life. Period. Point blank.
Period.
Permanently
Point blank.
Infertile.
Preach.
It is terrible.
God bless you. And you have a community here of people that support you, and thank you for speaking out.
And that's a point also that I want to address, that not just detransitioners, but people who have been sucked into leftist ideology, wokeism, whatever it is. We have to maintain that avenue for people to walk away from that and come into our arms, whether they believe in God or not, to say that, yes, actually, I was wrong, and now I care about family. I care about community. I care about tradition. I care about all of these things. And I was wrong. And we need to be a community to support those people. You can be addicted to them if you want, but they're already in power. So probably not a good idea.
And it also goes to the point, you can't push these people away. If they push you away, that's one thing. But these people that have different ideas from you, and you can't just be like, oh, you have a different idea. Ugh. Like, you have to give your thoughts to them in a respectful manner that doesn't make them feel dumb. Like, and you have to show respect if you want to gain these people to your side. And I know there's people like, oh, I don't want to gain these people to our side, but the other side is going to gain them. And then that is going to be one more person against you, trying to push you out of your ideology and push you out of your way of life.
Well said, sir. Completely agree. Jack Guy Travel said they will read about all of this in the history books and think, WTF? No way that ever happened. And
if they don't write the history books, if they don't write them.
Lefty Lucy spot on, saying not when history is brought to you by Pfizer.
Exactly.
I just did. Well, I don't want to spoil the video, but like, okay, never mind.
No spoilers. No spoilers left.
No spoilers. Daniel Cabrera says the biggest question that will be asked in that time: how did they actually have to argue about this? This is going to be bigger. Trying to decide if I want to say that out loud. I don't think I do. But what you were saying about, them not, you and Lefty Lucy saying about them not writing the history, and what Travels is talking about, if it is in the history books, because these people aren't going to just die. We're going to have a whole population of these people. So maybe, in 100 years, maybe you can get rid of this little black eye on the nation's record, but not before then. Not before then.
Well, imagine if there was no arguing about this, like, or arguing about any of the, like, let's say when Moses came down with the 10 Commandments and said and saw them praising a cow, he just dropped the commandments and said, "All right, I'm ever see everyone else tailing to this cow, we're gonna praise this cow." We would never have a great moral structure like we have based off the 10 Commandments.
And as an atheist, I agree.
This is coming from an atheist that said this.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, not all of them, because a lot of them who are socially transitioning, who are starting to see the type of stuff that we are showing you today. This stuff is out there. This stuff is out there. You can't silence everybody. And maybe they're going to die early, but they're not just going to drop dead. Trust me, there is going to be a reckoning about this in the next 20 years. Trust me. Bet your fucking house on that. Daniel says to forget your history is to ask to repeat itself. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. True. Travel says you'd have to scrub the internet of it too, which again isn't that far out of possibility, but be quite an undertaking. Amandre Foe said, hopefully we learn the lesson of progress for progress's sake is a bad idea. The progressive movement is a cultural blight. Yes, we need to go back to enlightenment values as opposed to progressive values. I mean, it sounds like those should be the same thing, but they're not.
We're going to have a generation.
Okay.
We're going to have a generation, guys.
Seeing a trend of.
All right. So, I don't want to get too heavy. So we're going to walk away from some of the trend stuff. I think we've all made our point. We've all said what we had to say. And let's go down to just dating as a normal person. A man looking for a woman looking for a man, a husband looking for a wife, people looking for a family. Shout out to our good friend Homath, who was on the channel last month. Give him a follow on TikTok, also on YouTube, and check out the interview that we did. And this is from him.
Seeing a trend of women dating down, which means, a man who.
So it looks like women are getting victimized again. Women are having to date down.
So if you haven't seen this picture before, this is how you need to understand dating. So, this is a guy, where am I? This is a guy who's a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 10, and there's the numbers there. So a guy who's a 10, a guy who's a 1, he'll look at a girl who's a 1, girl who's a 2, girls who's a 3, and then, up here it's like, all right, I mean, obviously I'd hit it, but that's kind of out of my range. That's why you're not seeing any green line going up here. It's not that he wouldn't, hit the 10. Oh. God damn it. Hold on.
So it looks like women are getting victimized again. Women.
So, that's why you don't see the lines from the, you really only see 3 spaces across, up. But you look at the 1, even the 1 is looking up. Then as you go further up, you're stretching 3. You go to a 3, now we're stretching all the way to the 7s. And by 5, they all think they deserve the 10. That's what this is. It's just kind of explaining what we call hypergamy, the idea that women want to date across or up and not down. Whereas you can see here, the guy who's a 10, he's got the green line to the 10s and the 9s, but, he's at the club and hits last call, whatever.
Well, you see, even on this chart, they don't even date across. It's all up. All of it's up. There's no across.
Yeah, good point. There's no, the 2 ain't going to date a 2. 3 ain't going to date a 3. 4 ain't going to date, not happening. So that's what we're looking at here.
Women are having to date down because there are no good men left. Let's talk about why. So usually men make more than women, which is not fair. Let's not talk about why. We'll just assume it's oppression.
Let's just assume it's oppression. Jay says, I'm sorry, but why does every pressing topic have political ideologies mixed into a side? Because they wanted that. That is what they wanted. They wanted to make sure that their ideology is mixed into everything, every aspect of our society, everything that you do. You can't play soccer. You can't get a haircut. You can't make money. You can't lay a brick wall. You can't get a dog. You can't do any of these things without having to think and filter everything through the political correctness that has turned into wokeness. Am I doing the right thing, or am I being oppressed, or am I oppressing? It's all that's the entire ideology, is to infuse it. That's what they're doing. Exactly as Lefty Lucy says, communist doctrine. That's exactly what it is. Shout out to Arturo Reacts. Welcome to the party. Yeah, Home Math is a cool dude, definitely. I did an interview with him, I think about a month ago. If you checked it out, I think you will enjoy it. Daniel said, and welcome to the party, Arturo. Daniel said, "Am I racist for hiring an Italian plumber?" Yes. You dirty dog.
If you only if you paint your pipe screen before he shows up.
So to combat this oppression, we need the government to make laws so that women can make an equal amount of money.
Obviously, if you haven't caught on that he's being sarcastic to this whole thing.
Which is fair. And once women are making an equal amount of money, now men who make less than them are fucking losers. Women are getting educated and they have standards, so they're not going to date down. She needs a man who makes more money than her, which is not fair. Government help. So basically, women need to be making the same amount of money as men, or even more, because it's 2023. That's the year that it is. This is the year, and so the government has to make this happen. Because it's August 23rd. The logic is flawless. So all women should be equal to or better than men, and all women should be able to find a man who makes more money than she does.
So you see his not people thing, that if you are underneath where the green or where the red lines go for the women, then you are not a human being. So for the average woman, you have to be an 8, 9, or 10 to even be considered as a human being. You need to be an 8, 9, or 10 to even be considered as a reasonable option, despite the fact that she may be a 4. That's relevant, because one time, like we said, homeboy up here got drunk and wasn't paying attention, and now last call came, and he put it in her head that, well, I deserve this.
Yep. And I just love how he puts, because when I was watching your interview when that was live, and he talked about how he asked a girl about a dude, and he pointed at the dude, and he was like, and she was like, what dude? I don't see him. She's like, that mailman I'm pointing at. What? Behind the mailman? Like,
yeah, she was like, behind the mailman? It was like, no, the mailman.
She didn't even see the mailman as an option, even though he could probably be a good looking guy. But he's in uniform. He's not at the club looking. He's not showing off stacks. So it's just.
And I bet your mailman make decent money. Like, that's a government job. Yeah. I mean, you definitely ain't poor.
It probably stays with interest.
Where have all the good men gone? I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. I got educated, and that's something that men care about a whole lot. So now me and all the other educated women are looking for men, and they're all busy. What's going on here?
This is a great depiction here, that the 1 will only go up to the 4. So to her, 3 and below, they're not people. And she's a 1. So let's go up to the average at best. Average at best. Where's the lowest line? What did I just say? Going up to the 8. Average woman. If you are a 7, you are not a person. You do not exist in her world, except to fill her gas, give you her food, serve it, whatever. That's all that it matters. M169 said mail carriers do make decent money. Yeah, I mean, the American government, if it's good at one thing, it is throwing money at whatever they can. Everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe and join us on Discord. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Jay said, well, my sister told me men in uniform usually look better like police, for example.
Well, yeah, a police officer is not a mailman.
Exactly. It's the type of uniform. If he is in a clown uniform, then it doesn't really apply. It's really about which uniform are we really talking about.
If I'm wearing my high vis and my khakis, I don't think that's going to be very attractive in the club.
Probably not. Probably not.
I want a man who makes 6 figures because that's more than me, and that's not fair.
Kelly
He'll only
Green!
be making
That
6
nose candy.
figures. And when I get my 6 figures, I want a man who's making 7 figures. Why can't I find any? And when I do find a man who makes 7 figures, that's oppressive. Government, help!
And
I'm so sick of all this dating down. Why don't you just do better? Hey, you can't do better. Government, why can't I raise my standards and make a lot of money and then find a guy who makes more money who doesn't have a lot of women? I just don't get it. It's the mystery of our time.
So, I mean, obviously, like I said, there was a heavy load of sarcasm in there. So if you actually want to understand what he's saying, I kind of broke it down. But if you listen to the actual points and look at the images that he has, it goes in more depth, even though he was going, he's being sarcastic. He was going through them pretty quickly. It's a very effective way to talk about this. And 169. Oh, the 6 6s. You got to have 6 figures, 6 feet tall, 6 inches. What are the other? You got to have. I forget. But those are the main 3. Those are the main 3 6s.
Well, if and then also when you're talking about average, you put women at a 5 as average, because to men, most women that are in that section are 5. But if you ask women what the average of most men are, it's probably a 3 or a 2. So as women look at 10s, like if you go into a bar, a woman might see not even see a 10 to her. She might see a 9 or an 8 in the bar. But a dude could go in and see maybe to him 3 or 4 10s because his scale is so different than what a woman's is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so with that in mind, this is one of my favorite things that I've seen on TikTok. And not necessarily in terms of how entertaining it is, but how spot on it is to understand that there's other people that feel this way about life. Men, you gonna enjoy this one. You gonna enjoy this one.
There is nothing
The next 3, actually.
more icky than watching a guy walk out of Starbucks with a Frappuccino in his hand, sipping on his green straw. Oh my gosh. Or
they only have green straws.
Or a black Americano. Like a man. Dear Lord. It's so weird.
New ick unlocked. So what do we do? We go over to the daily ick videos. 1, don't smile or be happy, or she'll get the ick. Number 2, don't be truthful, or she'll get the ick. Don't tie your shoes. Don't walk downhill. Don't be born a certain month, or listen to country music. On and on and on and on and on and on. And all of these have come from a video like we've just seen. So we can keep scrolling down to the bottom. We get to 160, and don't order a Frappuccino. Don't order the coffee you enjoy.
Or drink out of a straw.
And then we move over to this one.
If a guy types in lowercase, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Come on.
It is strange. It's because typing, I mean, if a guy types.
True. Lefty Lucy, nowadays, women can be a 9 at night and 3 in the morning. The scale is whack. Yeah, that's why men say, I prefer women who are not all made up, because we can see who the fuck you really are. Daniel said there's nothing more retarded than hear a woman say icky. But and they know. That's why they called it the ick.
It's icky for women to say icky.
He just types in lowercase, and it just gives me the ick. Unwatchable said, watered down coffee is like a man. That's all an Americano is. I mean, it kind of fits with their mentality. Yep, Guy Travels right there with Dan saying ick is so cringe. It's a defense mechanism. It's a reason that they don't have to be rational. Well, I don't know what, there's no reason behind it, but I just don't like it. Therefore, end of story. ML69 said, women are notorious for judging other women and men. It's like women today are permanently stuck at 14. That's millennials in general, but women especially.
I think it has to do something with, as humans start to live to be older, the age of which we mentally mature is getting older as well. So like, let's say if the average age you used to live in back in the day was 50, you had to grow up faster And now as age gets older and older, we can grow up slower and slower and age like awful wine.
So what you're telling me is that maybe if we really think about it, then maybe we should raise the age of certain things. That maybe 18 is an antiquated, albeit arbitrary. We have to draw an arbitrary line somewhere. You don't flip into an adult overnight. So yes. But maybe we should raise that age to 25, like our boy Vivek is saying.
Or, hear me out, Lutch.
He's mad because he's not 25.
We promote ideologies that make you smarter and help promote this idea of getting yourself better off earlier in life, so people grow up to be smarter, instead of these ideas of holding your children in the house and not letting them outside and containing them and not showing them the world. They're going to see the world eventually. The faster you show them, the more adaptive they're going to be to it.
Well, right. That's the entire thing about millennials is we got the helicopter parents. We were the first generation that was really a thing. Gen X didn't have that. Gen X was the latchkey kids. It was the millennials. It is my generation. It's people in their 30s now. Obviously not everybody, but it was common. It was common for parents of my generation, we were kids, to just hover over every little thing, and they call it snowplow parenting, where helicopter parenting is where you're overwatching, but snowplow parenting is where you just push out any kind of obstacle or anything that could be. And I agree. That's why I don't know why you're so upset about it. But Melty,
it's because I don't get offended by it. I just don't think it's because I don't like the idea. It's just so there's a reason I don't like it. It's hard for me to explain. I don't like the idea of government for like you see me and I don't that I'm not your average 23-year-old, but I understand why you'd want to have a civics test or like maybe raise the limit, but I just see a problem with raising the limit, where would you want to cut that off at? Like, was it just voting, or is it alcohol consumption?
Nope, everything.
Alcohol,
everything? Army, guns, renting a car, everything. 25. 25 is the new 18.
How long a kid can stay in adoption care? How long, you're forced to live with your parents? Like, even if a kid, let's say, I'm 18 and I'm ready.
Yep. Because there's a lot of 16-year-olds who move out and do their own thing. You can emancipate yourself at 16, maybe even 14 in some states. Would you raise as you just said, we're not only... What?
Would you raise the age of emancipation from 16?
No, because that's already a process in and of itself where that has to be proven. So that age is set, but it's not like you're 16 and you just get the privileges. So we're talking about things that you just get because of your birthday is today. And that's not what that is. So I don't know if this is a joke, Lefty Lucy, but that's hilarious. I mean, does this seem funny to you? Do you know what I don't know. I'm old. So do you not know what cursive is?
Oh, I know cursive and I can write in cursive. I just don't like doing it. Okay. There's more people that are older than me that don't understand cursive, I feel, than that I know that are my age, around my age range.
True. Shout out to Static Craig. Welcome to the party. So the oldest millennials have hit their 40s now, but yeah, I agree with 30s. Let's go with that. I now identify as 30 again. You know what I mean? We're right in that general age, and everybody has like a little, some people say it's like 80 this to 90 that and whatever. But generally, most of us are somewhere between 30 and 40. There are some people who are older, but remember, a generation used to be 20 years. But now at the rate of change, a generation is become like 10, and now like Generation Alpha and Generation Gen Z, they should be the same generation. But they're a completely different generation because the worlds that they're living up in or growing up in are going to be completely different. Completely different.
Well, you look at generational change. Like, I feel like back in the a boomer and what was before boomer?
Silent generation.
Yeah, the silent generation. They have way more. I feel like they have way more differences in their ideas in that generation gap than I would say a millennial and a Gen Zer or something like that. Like I would say that there's more agreement within modern generations than there are with older generations.
Maybe. but only because there's more conformity.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's about agreement. I don't think it's about anything necessarily good. I just think that everybody's like, okay, I'm for the current thing. Like, yeah, me too.
And so I think it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse.
Welcome to the party, Static Greg. M169 said they've shortened it to 15 years. Shortened what to 15 years? What did I miss? The generation size? Yeah. And I mean, you're only going to have to continue shortening it because the generation, at least as I understand it, I never read this anywhere, but at least as I understand it, the idea of a generation is to talk about the collection of people who grew up in the same way. So, like, I didn't have, like M169 is talking about Gen X, the feral generation with the latchkey kids. Like, my brother is 6 years older than me. He is turning 40 this year. And he was more or less kind of that in that camp. His friends were older and stuff, and it's not a clear line, but it's harder to tell. It's harder to tell because the generations are getting shorter and shorter. Lefty Lucy says, I work with some 20-year-olds. They do not write in cursive, let alone know what the word means. Yep. Excuse me. Nick says, I figured Melty would know. I think he's early 20s, going on his later 30s. Don't wish that on the kid. Don't wish that on the kid. Let him enjoy his 20s. Can you imagine somebody stealing 7 years of your 20s away from you?
Oh, my gosh. I already feel old as shit.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse, brother. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. All right, let's see exactly what she has to say about typing in lowercase.
I mean, if a guy types in lowercase, like, why are you trying to be feminine?
Typing in lowercase.
To the ick.
Type that in uppercase.
So let's see, wait. Up here. Because don't say, wait, all right, let's do this. Come on. TikTok, your scroller thingy is not good. No, god damn it.
You're scrolling on your other page.
What do you mean?
You're scrolling the list. Oh, it's probably over it.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, I thought you were trying to scroll on TikTok.
So we went to, don't tie your shoes. Don't walk downhill. We born in a certain month or listen to country music. Don't have a birthday. Don't get a cold. Don't fall over. Don't bathe. Don't have a hobby. Don't carry a bag. Don't watch football. Don't breathe. Friendly fire. I don't know what that means. Don't miscount. Don't have emotions when hurting yourself. Don't use a trampoline properly. Don't skip a step. Don't test any yogurt. Don't sit down. Don't take progress pics. Don't wait in a line. Don't walk in water.
I bet you friendly fire.
Don't swim in a pool.
I bet you the friendly fire is like, don't be like, oh, men are so bad because I bet you that's what that is. Like, don't go against other men.
Don't wear matching clothes. Don't have pain in your feet. Don't enjoy yourself or eat ice cream. Don't paddle on a paddleboard. Washing your car. You don't use Siri. You can't work out. Hey, I'm a man. Let's go. Not working out. Let's go. Don't feed your child or use a Frisbee. Don't pour a pint. Don't jump into water. Don't have any fun. I don't know what 45 is. Don't wear a seatbelt. Don't use a cart when shopping. Don't sneeze. Don't have earlobes. Don't wear a helmet. Don't carry boxes. Don't use a harness when rock climbing. What? Don't hug mom. Don't ride a bike. Have fun. Follow a crowd at a concert. Use a sauce. What? Don't jump. Don't ice skate. Don't eat soup. Don't wear socks. Don't look for parking. Don't mow the lawn. Don't eat food. Oh, eat soup. Don't wear socks. Look for parking. Mow the lawn. Eat food. Oh, it is eat food. Okay. Swing on a swing. Hula hoop. Lose an arm. Try new shoes. Ride a scooter. Don't be over 18. What? Don't get hurt. Don't drink from a straw. That was not different from the one where you get the coffee that you enjoy. Don't tie your shoelaces. Don't listen to Juice WRLD. What? Yo, shout out and RIP to Juice WRLD.
I love
Don't
Juice WRLD.
talk or have toes. Jump at a concert. Don't be a man. What? Don't get hit by a car. Bone up. Don't blow up a bed. Car blinkers. Look at animals in the zoo. Use emojis. Laugh. Go on a diving board. Breathe when talking. Have a shower. That's twice. We got don't bathe and don't have a shower. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And nail on the head, sir. In short, don't be a man.
It's funny how you say don't use emojis, and yeah, I've heard men use that too in like those red pill spaces of like that was funny as hell.
Add it to the list. Add it to the list. Don't use Comic Sans. I mean, that's actually good advice, but
yeah.
Ha! Daniel said this sounds like being Catholic. Oh, beautiful. Love it. Nick said it was the greatest Oh, that's right. No. Okay, I was right. It's the greatest generation before the silent generation, then the baby boomers and Gen X, just for the record. Thank you, sir. Jay said, how many genders are there? 2. Try Guy Travel said her Juice WRLD slander was out of pocket.
Haram!
I agree. All right, there's one more ick video. Oh no, that's the end of the ick videos. All right. So now we're moving into racism. You want to be racist? Don't be racist. Lefty Lucy was taught there too. You, ma'am, were taught correctly. So as you can see from the logo here, this is a clip from Liberty Hangout. That is Caitlin Bennett's company. She was the gun girl, the Kent State gun girl. If you remember, she took a picture with her AR-15 when she came back on campus after she graduated, and it was a whole big thing, and she turned that into a platform and does a lot of these street views. And again, it's not her, it's another guy. It's this dude here. Looks like he's wearing a MAGA beanie. But let's see where we at.
I have been stopped on the street with my mom running in my town for someone to call me and tell us that we are and that we should not be there.
Something tells me that didn't happen, but...
And then they called us these people.
And that affected you how? How did that affect your wallet? How did that affect your ability to get a job? How did that affect your ability to exist in this country as a free person?
Okay, real quick. I think maybe this is Caitlin's arm then, if that matters.
Makes you feel unwanted.
Because it makes you feel bad and hurts my feelings. Oh, my feelings. Oh, my God, my feelings. Try being short for one fucking day. Try to be short for one day. You wouldn't make it. You wouldn't make it in my shoes. You wouldn't make it. Kelly Green says, yep, I'd hit it. The Caitlyn chick, just to clarify. I said shit. Me too.
This chick that says this is probably the same chick that's at the club like, oh, this dude's not tall enough. This dude doesn't make enough money. Like, come on.
None. I climb on the counters like a real short king. All right? Step it. Step to it.
He uses Morty.
All right? You don't even know. That's right. Step right on Morty.
I feel like no one
Wait. So it hurt your feelings, okay? But how did that affect?
I'm sorry, wait. You didn't say it hurt my feelings.
You said it hurt your feelings.
It makes you feel unwanted, so you don't go out for things.
What? It makes you unwanted and whoa.
Unwanted foe.
Unwanted. Shout out to Dan Jensen. Oh my God. Oh my God, Dan Jensen. Oh, can we see?
Lutch is only like 35 pounds, so it doesn't hurt him too bad.
Yeah, I mean, thank you very, very, very much, sir. Let's hop right back into it to say thank you to Dan.
I didn't say it hurt my feelings.
You said it hurt your feelings.
It makes you feel unwanted, so you don't go out for things. It shows you that you don't have the effort, or you don't have what it takes to go up in this country.
Why are you listening to racists?
Random
because
people.
They don't want you here. You're not good enough as a white.
Who cares?
Why?
We just did a whole thing about the ick, yet all of us men are still walking around doing what it is that we do. Why are you different? Because I'm black.
Would you let somebody that is so stupid that they would say something so ignorant dictate your behavior in any way, shape, or form?
Because I'm telling you, that's what everyone thinks.
I'm not talking to you.
If that's what everyone thinks, they don't want you to go up in this country. So they don't give you the opportunities you need.
So then you bust your butt and you show them that you don't care what they think, and you become successful. And I can applaud that.
My mother was a single mother, worked 3 jobs my whole life.
Exactly.
To get me where I am now.
Great.
And you
Did you just not hear what you just said? You just proved his point that despite the fact that these people stopped you in your neighborhood to call you N-words, which let's just say happened. Certainly wouldn't be the first time. It won't be the last time. Don't really believe that it happened to her, but sounds too convenient. But let's just go with it. She still worked 3 jobs. And I'm looking around, and we only got, a little bit of the scope here, but seems like you and dude are the only black people here. So it can't be that shitty of a college, right? Because only black people, shitty colleges have all black people. So if you go around white people, it must be better, right? That's the way you think. And you're saying it out loud. I mean, listen to her say it. She is saying, me and my family beat racism. But still racism.
And I applaud that.
My mother was a single mother, worked 3 jobs my whole life.
Exactly.
To get me where I am now. And you are...
cannot stop
yes,
you.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not stop you.
You're there right now. What do you mean? You're having this conversation. You are having this conversation. How have you been stopped from having this conversation when you are having this conversation? Daniel says, get yourself off the ground and climb the ladder, or you will use as a stepping stone. Well said, sir. Track Out Travel says, never underestimate a woman's ability to fabricate a story in order to support her argument. True.
She needs. My mom worked her ass to get a manager position in a hospital.
Okay, good for her. That means that it's possible. Even if racism exists, that you can overcome it.
She has her master's degree, and she's going.
Okay, so she's got her master's degree, and she's going out for her doctorate.
Going out for her doctorate because not only did other people tell her that she shouldn't do it,
and then they stopped her from doing it, according to you.
But she knew herself that she should, without getting the opportunities that she wanted herself. So she did go out and bust her butt.
Exactly. Tell her what she's won. Nothing, because you're too dumb to realize that you've already won, you dumb.
But
so you're telling me
that does not mean that everyone didn't put her down along the way.
But they didn't stop her, and that's what I'm saying. Racism is not a significant issue enough to stop you.
Are you what?
It's not going to stop you.
50 years. She has gone out for 50 years. That has not stopped her.
Not if she's gone out for 50 years. Like there's a disconnect between the thing that you're saying and the thing that you think you're saying.
It hasn't stopped her. You said she's still going.
Are you? So you're telling me you have not gone
Am I not black enough now?
You're telling me you have not gone through any racism in your life?
You didn't say that.
None. You've never gone through
I said
anything.
I'm not an African American. I didn't say I wasn't black.
So what the fuck are you?
I'm an American.
No, you're an African American.
When I started my company, I have a company with 150 employees. We gross millions of dollars a year, and we cut trees down.
If you have your own company as an American man, I won't even call you an African American.
Call me a black man.
You're a black man. Do you try and put more effort into employing more African Americans than white men?
Actually, I'm black.
Oh, hell no.
No.
A lot of Mexicans.
Okay, so do you try and go out your way to employ more people that you feel are underrepresented in the country?
No.
Why would I? I would ask, why should I? Why should I? There's people like you and your mother who are saying that you're going to bust your butt despite this, that, and the other. So why should I overlook her for some other black person who's not doing the same thing just because they're black?
And it's crazy to me that she wants to say, so he's just assuming because he's black, he's an African American, even though I work with Haitians that are black and they are not African. They're not African. They're just Haitian Americans. I am
Haitian. Don't call me black. I don't call me African American. I am Haitian.
That was way too Indian. But but like there's Dominican people that have blacker skin tones. I don't think they'd call themselves African. They'd call themselves Dominican. That's just what it's. Everyone has a stereotypal idea that if you're black, you're from Africa, and it's just obviously not true. And like this guy, he has probably no connections to Africa. He calls himself an American because all his connections are in America. He may have genetic connections to Africa from long ago, but he has no cultural representation from Africa in his body.
Well, sad. Shout out to number 1 American Rob, another one of our friends from the Timcast members only server. Welcome to the party. Said what people told her this? The black people, the liberal people, the Black Lives Matter people, all the people that don't actually care about her, but they care about her as a pawn for their political means.
I'm actually happy you said that, Lutch. Look around her though. It's not black people that are agreeing with it. Well, it's not these black people that I would say told her this. It's these white liberal people that want to have the idea, that want to. I'm better. I'm so much better because I'm putting you above me. But it's not. I feel like a lot of black people and African Americans and all these people do not want to be put on a pedestal like this. They want to be equal with us, not put on the pedestal.
M169 shots fired. She said, "White man's." She lost me. Standing on a college campus and can't speak proper English.
Beta.
I don't get it. I need to be able to say axe. Okay, I can't pronounce ask. All right. I'm sorry that the Indian Jesus sounds a little too Indian.
I would do the Haitian voice, but I'm not going to do that right now.
You are too white for that.
Exactly.
Speaking of Akon, the nickname of my best friend who had the name before Akon did, and he is forever living right here. His 10-year death anniversary is going to fall on a Monday, September 25th. So I'm hoping to put together something with some people that I grew up with and that I hung out with, and hopefully we'll be telling some stories. That's going to be a very, 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 very important day for me. So September 25th, I really hope to see you guys here to honor the real Akon.
Rest in peace, Akon.
Shout out. Unwanted Foe said he didn't vote Biden. He ain't black.
Come on, man.
And definitely join us in the Discord.
No, I employ people that I believe will do the best job. It's to employ.
Oh, she didn't have shit to say to that.
Employ people based on their skin color.
It's not, because you definitely just told me that America does not try to put down people who you don't think has the ability to do certain jobs.
What? Wait a minute, what?
What? That was like a non-statement.
That was a super double negative.
Employ people that I believe will do the best job. It's to employ people based on their skin color.
It's not, because you.
Okay, so she said it's not racist because you just told me.
Definitely just told me that America
does not try to put down people.
Not try to put down people who you don't think has the ability.
So they don't put down people who don't have the abilities.
So if you have the ability to do your job, you're more likely to be hired. That sounds
that sounds about like merit to me.
To do certain jobs.
Hey, shout out to Jay who just joined the Discord. Welcome, buddy. Very, very glad to have you. Hope to see you in the after show, which is going to happen right after this. And if you haven't noticed, we've already gone past our 2.5 hour mark because you guys have been so appreciative, and I love it. Thank you so much, guys.
I didn't say that, but I believe that there's no better country to be a person of color than America. And if you find a better country, I would love to hear about it.
I can tell you that there's many countries. Canada.
Is there though? Canada, she said.
I hope she speaks French.
Multilingual.
So why are there more black millionaires in the United States than in Canada?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe you should know before you make this argument.
She's gonna freeze up like Mitch.
Probably population. You can definitely.
No, even percentage. Yeah.
I'm just telling you that it is very hard to go up in America. Being
for everyone.
The white race.
But what I'm saying is, just because somebody says something rude to you, like calls you the N-word, that does not affect your ability to make money.
It affects everyone else's mindset. That's everyone else.
I said shit. Me too, Jay. Me too. Oh, thank you so much for the homies.
I got water, but
Akon lives, baby. Hashtag Akon lives. What about Australia or New Zealand?
Australia, New Zealand? Are those better countries than America? I would say no.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not. And Canada, Canada's one of the worst. Wonderful's like, this girl, you will hire people with the worst qualifications unless they're white. Fuck them. She's really referencing Canada. Must be the free healthcare. Must be.
Just because somebody says something rude to you, like calls you the N-word, that does not affect your ability to make money.
It affects everyone else's mindset. That's everyone else's mindset.
Your mindset? Who's okay? Let's just do a little bit of trivia. Melted Mind Media. If you were to guess who I thought the responsibility of my mindset was, who would you think? Just a random guess. Who would you think that I would say is responsible for my mindset?
You.
Exactly. How about you? Who would you think that I would say, in my personal, humble opinion, would be responsible for your mindset?
Me.
Exactly. It's not that fucking complicated, is it?
Nope.
That affects you. Going through depression affects you. I didn't say depression doesn't affect you. I'm saying it's not going to stop your ability to make money in the United States.
The thing is, if that's what one person, no, you're not giving up. But not everyone. But if that's what one person thinks about you, that's what multiple people think about you.
That's not.
Who cares what people think about you? Lefty Lucy said, I bet she has the N-word on her Spotify and iTunes. I can damn near guarantee it. Why? Because you can't listen to pop music without it.
True. America is not a more country today than it was 50 years ago. America is the least that it's ever been at any point in history. And is more or less dead. And the only people that keep it alive because they want to make money off of it.
Okay. So the only so you're saying
I'm confused, so I'm just gonna walk away because you're mean and you're a man and that's racist and you're a sexist and I win.
No, is only around to make money. That's it.
Wait, whoa. Excuse me?
That it's ever been at any point in history. And is more or less dead. And the only people that keep it alive because they want to make money off of it.
Like BLM. Who just said that? Where? I just saw this. I think it was I know it was right here. I know one of you just said this. Did you I can see here. Lefty Lucy. There. Oh, right there. I think somebody hit the nail right on the head.
Okay. So the only so you're saying
yeah, you are confused, honey.
no, is only around to make money.
Yup. People keep racism around today to make money. Yes.
How is that it?
How many BLM shirts do you have? How many things have you bought because of BLM?
How many times have you voted Democrat because of racism?
Every time.
Media not pit us against each other. They tell us that the police are killing us. When you look at statistics, it's not true.
Nope. Not true at all. Thoughts?
Let's get into this.
Definitely racism definitely does not it's not a contributing factor to economical growth in the United States of a single person. It's the same way with a woman. Like a woman can wear high heels and get higher up in a society, but they will never get as high up as if they grab themselves by their bootstraps and pull themselves up. You'll never get as high from that.
Yeah.
But
I think Tim Pool has a good point that you cannot pull yourself up by your bootstraps if you don't own boots. So let's make sure that people have boots and then pull themselves up by the straps on those fucking boots. Yes, we are in America. We are in the greatest country on earth. I don't think that we should have anybody who is, of sound mind who should be, arguably anybody. But, if you want to sit around and fucking, do whatever, then nobody can stop you. But anybody who wants to be able to be healthy and happily employed should be able to do so.
Well, and then what I agree with, I agree with Tim obviously in that statement. But even if you don't have boots, the only way you're going to help yourself get up there is by other people. Also, if you don't have the boots, you may need to find help and growth. If you don't have a solid base to stand on, you may need to find people that help you in friend groups within your family, and it's going to help a lot in the situation. But there's definitely times where you need to focus on yourself and help yourself get ahead in life, and you need to make that one of your biggest priorities.
Facts. So, Jay, I guess, is a black guy and is expressing the same type of sentiment that our other token black guy in the, he doesn't show up here. He's probably listening, but he's never in the chat. Mm-hmm. But shout out to Trey, who says this, the same kind of thing, so Jay is saying, as a black guy, I could care less who it is, who says it, as long as it's not the hard R and not disrespectful. Anyone can say it regardless of color. It's an interesting thing. I wanted to dive into that. And as a not white person, I have enough wiggle room to ask, why? Why does the R bother you? Mm-hmm. Genuine question. What is different about the R? The only thing I can think of is that when somebody is using the R, the intention behind it is to be disrespectful, and so it's that disrespect that you care about. And this is a much larger conversation, but I don't know that this is and I'm not black, so just giving my own outside opinion, not telling you how to think, not telling black people how to think, anything like that. I'm just saying, I don't know that holding on to this red line that, oh, if you say this word in a certain way, then we're all going to fall apart and die.
And Jay, I would definitely
hold on, sorry, but I know I'm being a little bit facetious and hyperbolic. That's not what you said, but I'm, just blowing up the idea that what does the R do? What does the R do? Sorry, Melty, you were saying?
But Jay, I hope you come into the after show because I'd love to talk to you about context of using the hard R, because I actually got banned. Well, I got removed from the server for like a minute from Destiny's server on Discord. I did not say the N-word. I said a slur for white people in that Discord. And me as a white person, I got banned for explaining to an Australian what the word was, because I said C word and he thought I meant the Australian C word and not the American C word. So I had to explain to him what the racist slur that black people use for white people in America now was, and I got banned for that.
How dare you?
You evil, 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 evil racist.
I know.
Nick says this guest is not paid enough because he's on the ball tonight. Good job, Melted Mind Media. I agree. He's not paid enough because he ain't getting paid shit.
I'm getting paid with experience on the clock.
There you go. So we got one more here in the race category that goes along with what we've been doing, and then a couple more that I just wanted to throw in because I'm me and I want to do what I want to do, and you can watch it now, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? All right. So one more race one.
Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? It is okay to be white.
Okay, let's make that a poll before we even continue. Is it okay? Come on. You say it is okay to be white. Let me know what you think. Is it okay to say it's okay to be white? And is that different than it being okay to be white? Is there a difference between it's okay that you are white but it's not okay that you say that you state that it's okay to be white? Is there a difference? Daniel says depends on which white people you're talking about, I guess. True. Dan Jensen asks, how is that a question? I feel you, bro. I feel you. Lefty Lisa says feels okay. Feels okay. All right. Daniel Cabrera is saying, and I know I'm white passing, but a kind of an off-white eggshell color. Does that still count? No, you're white. Or does it count as white? Yes, then it does count as white. Jay, quote, is it okay to be white? Or is it okay to be white? The question. That sounds racist as fuck, asking that question. You can't control who your ancestors are. You win. You got it.
No, that's not okay. It's terrible to be white.
How dare you?
Wow. She didn't even just say it's not okay to say it. She said it's terrible to be white.
Okay. It's terrible to be white. Who wants to be
white? Terrible to be white. Who would want to be white? I thought it was y'all that was saying that white people have white privilege and are oppressing y'all.
Why is it not okay to be white?
Y'all have done too much. I would rather
people.
Yeah, as a
You hear that, Melty? You've done too much as a whole. Not just done too, but as a whole. Okay, that makes it different. As a whole.
What? Whole.
Too much good or too much bad?
Too much bad.
What should white people do about that?
Try not to be white.
Add it to the ick list. Okay, hold on. You're going to hurt yourself. This dog is retarded. Come on.
Retarded.
This way. There you go. He's trying to squeeze himself through the armhole. He's going to catch himself because he's fat. Because despite what you guys think, I do overfeed him a little bit. He likes his food. What are we going to do? Anyway. My goddamn you, Mongolians! Who are these people? I do not know. Nick says, remember the Jeffersons? Back then, I was a honky. wanted both, so I was just cashing in the daily white privilege check, and then I was given a brand new car at the dealer. Just had to flash my arm's skin color. There is a Beavis and Butthead skit that's going around. I don't know how old it is because I've only seen it online, but they're in a class and it's a very typical lefty class, and the professor's explaining white privilege to them. It's like you and you know, you have white privilege, and the cops won't go after you. And like, oh, sweet, okay. So they go in and they're like, you know, Robin, it's okay, we have white privilege. We don't have to wait in line. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. Brilliant.
Love Beavis and Butthead.
Jay said, in my life, I met you met nicer people. Oh, okay. You met more nice white people than black ones. And are not as judgmental, but hey, that's just me. I honestly would not be able to tell you. I have not at all ever kept track of anything like that unless it's been brought to my attention. But apparently that makes me racist. Based Lefty Lucy.
So you just don't like white people as a whole?
No.
I definitely thought you said Mongolian and not Magnolia.
Yeah, I am racist.
Are you serious? Or
100%.
At least she's honest.
Yeah.
At least she's honest. At least she is honest. Thoughts?
I think
You're
being less
more sign.
definitely a lot of people like Justin Trudeau have tried not to be white, and he got called racist for that. So I don't know. Blackface does not seem like a good idea. I feel like she would call a dude racist if he tried to be less black like that. But
Good one. Daniel said that would be in the summer. All right, you don't have to be all white all the time, but definitely in the winter. You a white boy. You a white boy. So that's you know, the end of where we're gonna get into heavy stuff. These last two are gonna be a little bit more funny. So if that's all you want to do, head over to the after party that is in the Discord server, which is free 24/7. We're there hanging out, having a grand old time, awesome conversations, and after every single live stream, we're going there for an after party where you're not stuck behind a computer, but you're actually on screen with me and Melty and everybody else. You can cam up if you want to, but you don't have to. Either way, it's a grand old time. Come and join us. So this one is more low IQ traits. And let me know if you think that this is similar to anything that I've said before.
Here are 3 more signs of a low IQ person. Number 1, the inability to place themselves in hypothetical situations.
Have I ever said that before? I don't remember.
If I say something like, but would it be fair if the roles were flipped?
But they're not.
And they say something to the effect of, but that's not how it actually is. I'm aware. That's why I gave you a hypothetical to prove my point. Otherwise, I would have given you a real-world example. Number 2 is conflating material possessions for qualifications. I'll explain it like this. Just because someone has a lot of money in the form of cars, mansions, etc., doesn't mean they're at all qualified to teach you how to make money.
Yeah, I'm really not like, I have one of these, and those of you in the Discord, where does the mic go when I use the mic?
You're supposed to
do I hold it like this? Or do I put it on my lapel like you're supposed to? That's what the clip is for. This part, it opens. It's a clip. It clips on. That's what it's for. Yet all of them do that. Even some of the street talking videos. They'll use that kind of microphone. And it's not like that microphone is either that cheap where it makes sense to get that over like a regular Shure mic, or just use your goddamn cell phone.
This was $40.
Yeah,
this mic.
Exactly. I think this was about the same. And I mean, I don't know. So I'm glad you said something because I wasn't going to. Nick says, when I was welding, I would come home black as night. That would get me killed now. You goddamn racists.
Yeah. But I like what the dude did with the mini mic for that last video with the girl. He put it on the roses. Like that's if you have one of those small mics, that is genius to put it on something super funny and just put it in people's face for them to talk into the mic.
Yeah, this one pisses me off. This one pisses me off just because it takes that much more effort to do it. Like with we had the girl saying if you type in lowercase, but like that's the natural way that the keyboard is.
How dare you follow grammar standards? How unman of you to follow grammar standards.
Oh, I'm a grammar Nazi.
Oh, I already know.
Where was it? I think it was Lefty Lucy. No, it was Jay. I was about to correct him. I'm like, more nicer? Bingo. Stupid. That's okay. I guess that's not a button you can turn off. I was gonna say, stupid. It's not more nicer, okay? It's just nicer. but then I read it and I wasn't a dick. And then I scrolled it back and became a dick again.
Similarly, just because someone's really ripped and really strong doesn't mean they know what they're talking about when they start talking about the science of building muscle. Now, I'm not saying that all rich or buff people aren't qualified to talk on these subjects, but being buff or being rich in itself is not a qualification. And the number 3 sign is the inability to explain something in different terms than it was explained to them.
This is the big one. This is really, obviously I've talked about the hypotheticals. No, Marty, you jumped down. The only way you get attention now is with a goddamn super chat because you jumped down. The reason I want to bring this one up is specifically because I, talk about the hypothetical and the analogies. But what he's saying here about, help me out. What did he just say? I fucking blacked out.
Ability to explain something.
Oh, explain things in your own words. Yeah. The notion that you can only recite, that you have to, like when you're talking and you're asking somebody about something and then just send you a link to an article or a study. It's like, no. I want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to have a conversation with them. And I'm perfectly willing to understand or to read these things, but that's not what I'm doing right now, especially if we're hanging out in Discord where we're chatting with each other. I don't want to go, okay, now you go read this. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Read it. Like, scroll through. Okay.
Here's this manifesto that's 87 pages.
Like,
that will totally explain everything I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, and you these are people who can they don't have the ability to explain things in their own words. Yeah, you good, Jay? You good?
Thing in different terms than it was explained to them. There's a difference between regurgitating stuff that you just simply memorized and actually understanding it. And fundamentally, the difference is, can you explain it in your own words? If you can't, then you don't actually understand it. And if this happens with most concepts,
you're stupid!
I've got some bad news for you. A lot of people were mad that I said IQ in my last video. I don't mean the actual intelligence quotient. You can just replace low IQ with dumb if it makes you happy.
Stupid. And still, dumb people. If you're calling people dumb.
So I just got
the last one is a fun one. We're all gonna get a big laugh out of at this woman's expense.
No,
and I'm not sorry. I'm trying to decide if I want to even tee it up or should I just shove the whole thing down your throats. What should I do, Melty?
Huh?
So I just got yelled at for asking a very reasonable question.
A reasonable question, she says. Just got yelled at. By who? But just got yelled at for asking a reasonable question.
So I'm applying to go somewhere, and I just wanted to know, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness?
What? Oh, hell no.
Time blindness. No, there's a book. There's a pamphlet. There's a paper that tells you how to read a fucking clock. What?
Being on time. And then the person I was with interrupted and acted like I was asking something else. And then when we were done, they actually started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist. And if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job.
Facts. True. As well as what Drag Agile was saying. Like, we're not cars. It's an analogy. Exactly. But I mean, at least they know how to tell time. Oh, Dad. It's like, bitch, you got a phone to record this stupid ass video. I guarantee you got to watch use either one. Hell, you can set alarms on the phone with more than one. You don't even need to tell the time. Just tell what time you need me to wake up. God dang. Did I testify in the spirit that you would like, Dan? I don't know if I fully captured it, but I feel like I did. Jay said TikTok is making people embarrass themselves with these idiotic videos. And hey, I am here for it. Shame the people who need to be shamed. Shame the people who need to be shamed. If you have time blindness, you need to be shamed. Not for any other reason, but that it is very, 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 very easy to learn how to read a clock.
Provided you're trying your absolute best to be there. And then they're like, your stupid generation wants to destroy the workplace.
Yup.
And I think that a culture where workers are just cut off because they struggle with being on time, when there's other solutions that we can look to, I think that just anybody...
Such as? Other solutions like, now, if you want to say, hey, I struggle with time blindness and I work from my computer at home, so I just want to, as long as I'm logging 40 hours a week, then what does it matter? Totally with you. Something tells me that if that was your situation, then nobody would give a fuck about time blindness. Dan says, I would have done it with a bit more bass, but yeah, you got it. Bitch, you stupid! You're not time blind. You just don't know how to work the calendar.
You're just lazy as hell.
Who thinks it's okay to just treat people like that?
Yep.
Yeah, that culture needs to be dismantled.
Okay, come and take it from us. Come and take it from us.
And then I asked that person, how can you feel good about yourself upholding this kind of system?
Because I'm rich, bitch!
And then to think I'm entitled. No, if people think it's okay to treat others like this, that's entitlement.
Yeah, I mean, well, yes, I am entitled to treat you as stupid as you are. I am 100% entitled to do that.
You're entitled to think. You're allowed to talk, say what's on your mind, and that's what's on that lady's mind. She's allowed to say it, and some people think she's wrong, and some people think she's right. I think majority of people think she's right.
Comment of the night from M169. She said, dismantle it. M169 said, try it. We'll be on time. You still gonna be sleeping, you dumb.
They're gonna show up to the rallies, and some of them are gonna show up on time. Some are gonna show up at 2 hours late. The first group's gonna be gone by then.
Yep. Show up the next day.
Yep.
So let me guess. This calendar thing somehow has to do with the patriarchy or racism. Probably. What doesn't? What doesn't? I mean, it's a never-ending list of just BS after BS after BS based on the same old sob story. Daniel says, if we don't have a culture who goes to work and pays for food, then we must revert to a culture who hunts and gathers for sustenance. How is this hard? Well, reverting to a culture who hunts and gathers for sustenance is probably going to be very hard. I very much like the culture that we have now, but try telling that to. I didn't need to do that. Try telling that to her. Probably ain't gonna happen.
If they would hunt and gather for food and money as much as they hunt and gather for ideas that are racist and patriarchal, they would be millionaires.
There you go. There you go. So this was the Melted Mind Media Indian Jesus TikTok review of what is going on and certain things that I saw in the past 2 days, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's give a big shout out to everybody who sponsored the stream or helped sponsor. Dan Jensen, we got Unwanted Foe, we got the actual sponsor of the stream, Meds Health Space, with the $10 super chat. We got Tread Guy Travels, who became a disciple, and Melted Mind Media up here on screen already, but became a member for 3 more months. 3 more months. And then we got Jay with the super sticker. And of course, it would never be a show without a Dan Jensen super chat. Thank you guys. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. You guys know how much I love hanging out with you, and you guys know how much I love doing this, but you'll also know that I can't do it without your help. And I completely understand if you can't contribute, but I know that we can do something big here. We can do something great here. Let's keep building. Forget Morty. Morty is my life. All right. There ain't no way I could ever forget about Morty. In 100 years, I'm not going to forget about Morty. I promise you that. But thank you so much for hanging out with us, guys. Melted Mind Media, shout out to the co-host job. For those who don't know, why don't you tell them who the fuck you are? What do you do? And where can they find you?
I'm Melted Mind Media. I help you fight the media that melts your mind, and you can find me on Melted Media on YouTube and Twitter. And thanks for talking to you guys, and thanks everybody for commenting and everything. And thank you, Indian Jesus, for having me on.
Let's go! Thank you so much for helping me out with this one. Very much appreciated, and thank you again to all of you guys, especially those of you who took the I don't know, took the chose to part with your hard-earned money, guys. It does not go unnoticed. I appreciate it so much. I really hope to see you in the after party. I can see Dan's already over there like a gangster. Until then, guys, we are out of here. Peace.